Alright, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. Date is March 17th, 2020. Day 1 of lockdown starts today. I am the real Seaman. Welcome to the stream, man. Bro, I work at the hospital and I have to work still. Damn, dude. That's insane, bro. Stay safe, man. Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Get the Twitch fixed up. Welcome back, guys. Hope everybody's doing good. Washing your hands. Hope you're stocked up. I hope you called your people. Make sure your people are good. It's gonna be a fun day of WoW. We're gonna be hanging out, talking everything. Talking WoW, talking coronavirus, talking whatever you guys want. I'm here for you. All right, Crix Gaming in the house. Hope you're staying safe, brother. You too, bro. How's everything going with you, Crix, man? John Hodgson, what's going on, battle? How are you, man? You stocked up? You good? Garg, stay safe. Here in NYC, everything is shutting down. Same here, man. So I live in the Bay Area, right? You guys have been hearing about this. Apparently, they're extending this out towards other areas, other regions like Philadelphia, apparently. Just getting these type of orders as well. Everybody's ordered to stay inside here for the next 3 weeks. I'm feeling fucking kind of amped, though. Like, I'm not happy about this all happening, but I don't know. It just engages a certain mode in me. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about here. You get into this kind of focused, you know, it's kind of calm under pressure, right? Some people rise up, some people will crumble under the pressure. I am feeling good right now. Everything is squared away. Last night I spent about 4 hours going through everything. Paper towels, toilet paper rolls, soap, you know, detergent, medical supplies, squared away all the bags, all the go bags, all the straps are tied down nice and clean so they look really good. Just grab and go. No straps looking like a soup sandwich. All the gear is prepared. You know, everything is organized. You know, there's a list of everything that we have and like a budget of how much paper towels per week, how much toilet paper per week, all this type of stuff. I'm feeling good, guys. I'm ready. Who's ready? One's in the chat if you're ready. One's in the chat if you're ready, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Sarmi in the house. Good to see you, Sarmi. How are you? I hope you're staying safe. How you guys doing? Bro, we seem to be a couple days behind you guys in Cali. I feel we're going to be next on this lockdown. I think it's a matter of time, man. They're going to probably do a domestic lockdown for a little bit. I've been doing, I don't know if you guys have been fixated on this, but I've been doing as much research as possible, watching as many videos as possible, doing as much research about, you know, how viruses work as possible, getting caught up to speed with everything like this. I'm ready, dude. All right, we're going to do some hardcore leveling today. Suspend reality a little bit. We gotta go do the Quill Force, so let's go do that. See how many levels we can get. We're gonna be streaming a lot, guys. That's one of the benefits, or you know, the positives of all this happening. Plenty of time to stream and hang out with the stream fam. So I hope everybody's doing safe. If you guys have any questions about, you know, emergency preparedness, all this type of stuff, I'll do. I love talking about that kind of stuff, man. I love talking about that kind of stuff. I'm feeling amped right now. Flagstaff is shutting down as of 8 p.m. for all bars, restaurants, theaters, gyms. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, that's one thing, too. Number one way to boost the immune system, we were talking about yesterday as a chat, is to exercise, right? And I've been slacking a little bit on that front. You know, that's a good way, posture check for all of us. If you can work out at home, just with a towel. You don't even need any equipment, actually, not even a towel. Just put on a YouTube playlist or something. You know, just play a video, one of those people that are way too happy. And just listen to them, you know, get a nice little sweat in. It's gonna help. Matt Shepard, love to see it. What's up, man? Welcome back. Change the air filters in your house. That's a really good call, man. It's been a while. Thing is, isn't it kind of GG? I feel like all the air filters are gone. So I don't know if you guys have seen Amazon. Amazon is cleared out, man. Like their groceries on Amazon is GG. Any grocery store you go to around here, at least in the Bay Area, everything is gone right now. Because with the lockdown order, they're gonna get replenished at some point. I think the play is to show up really early, as soon as they open, and kind of get a sense of when the deliveries come in, and then just get there early and stock up as much as possible. Love that low-key prepper vid. Yo, thank you very much, Francis. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how low-key it was, but that is something that I've been into for a while, and like it's now just slightly becoming more acceptable to talk about that with all the corona going on. So I've been, you know, prepping or whatever you want to call it, just like a kind of a hobbyist level for years and years now. So that's one thing I've realized, man. I'm so glad that I did, because when you're scrambling to get supplies, right? You can't really start from scratch and get it all. You just don't have enough time in the day, and the resources are too short. Like if you had to just build up your reserves right now, you wouldn't have enough time to go out and get all the medical supplies you would need, all the food you would need, all of the gear you might need. Like you just don't have enough time to cover all your bases. So, you know, even me, dude, I've been, you know, kind of prepping for years and years now, and I still had massive deficiencies, man. I still had to go get tons of water. I still had to go get, you know, as many medical supplies as I could. Still don't have an N95 mask. One thing that's clutch though, my pops is big brain. He has a oxygen therapy and ventilator and all that already had that. How insane is that? Because I'm concerned about our parents, right? Because our parents could get the infection, and he was kind of giving me a posture check. He was like, you know, you're saying, you know, son, you're worried about, you know, food and water and defense and all this type of stuff. What you should be worried about is if you can survive a viral infection by yourself at your house. Think about that, guys. That's big brain, right? Can you survive personally a viral infection at your house? Do you know what like home remedy antiviral stuff is? I don't even know that much. I should learn more about it. Some people are saying different blends of turmeric and lemon and all this type of stuff, but that's big brain. That's big brain. You know, what they're saying is pretty much they're talking about flattening the curve, right? Flattening the curve doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna stop the virus in its tracks, pretty much, bro. Flattening the curve is to mitigate the impact on the healthcare systems. So right now, if it spikes up like this, it's GG. That every healthcare system is just gonna fall over, right? They're anticipating a lot of the top leading experts in this field, like in these fields, who know a lot about this stuff, are saying that between 40 and 70% of the world's population will eventually get coronavirus. A lot of people sort of feel like that's an inevitable thing that's going to happen. It's a matter of slowing down the progression to that stage, right? So that the healthcare systems don't fall over. The good news, though, is that, you know, to 50% of people potentially, it's going to be very low symptoms, just mild kind of fever or cold-like symptoms, or even asymptomatic, which is pretty good. Just play WoW, bro. We're talking about coronavirus today, man. Everyone's talking about coronavirus. I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about that. I've been thinking a lot about that. It's on everybody's mind, right? So we're going to be talking about coronavirus throughout while playing. If you have a healthy immune system, you should be good if you get the corona. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. It's not necessarily about that as well. So getting the coronavirus is one thing. What they're doing now in healthcare systems is they're suspending elective surgeries and non-essential surgeries, right? So if you get injured in some other way, your access to healthcare is just going to be like less, right? And another sticky situation is potentially the doctors who work in the ICUs, the people who actually have all the big brain knowledge to help, you know, treat these kind of, these higher levels of care. If they get sick, that's also another you know, big pain point as well. So it's not necessarily getting the coronavirus that is the only consideration here. It's, you know, what if your transformer box explodes outside and they don't have crews to go fix it in time, right? What if you know, what if you break your leg, or what if you need what if you have appendicitis right now? You know, are they gonna have the personnel? Again, I already had appendicitis, so it's not my problem. But people get appendicitis all the time, especially people in our age group. What if you get appendicitis and you can't get taken care of? There's a lot of things to consider here. How many coffees have you had today, bro? I am amped right now, Crusader. The thing is, I only had 1 cup of coffee. Just with all of this going on, I am just like high speed right now. Like I said, I spent 4 hours yesterday itemizing everything. Got everything all squared away right now. All the bags, all the weapons, all the food, water, everything is organized, itemized. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready. I work in healthcare, and my hospital is refusing to suspend elective surgeries. For now, right? For now. We're early innings with this. So, I'm just saying, we're early innings. Another thing is that they were saying that for a while they thought that people in African nations might be immune to the virus, right? They were thinking, you know, maybe they have some immunity, it doesn't affect them. We're starting to see that that's not the case. So there are actually some cases in South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, things like this. And here's the upsetting thing about that potentially, is that there's a metric out there, and it measures doctors per capita, right? So it talks about how many doctors are there in society per 1,000 people, right? So in Europe and like kind of countries that have very more sophisticated and more built out medical systems, they have about 2.2 and change. They have like 2.9, I think was the metric I heard. That's just like standard Europe level. In America, what would you think in America? Probably a little bit lower in America, I would guess. In places like South Korea, really like technologically advanced places in Asian countries, I feel like they probably have the most, if I had to guess. But places, like Kenya and some of the African nations, they have 0.01 doctors per 1,000 people. So it's the type of thing is you think like if there is a viral outbreak in those nations, it's going to be super rough, man, because the access to ventilators is going to be so much less. There's going to have way less doctors, way less beds, ICU beds per 1,000 people. So I'm taking it seriously, guys, as everybody should, right? And I actually could really learn a lot from you guys, and hopefully vice versa. And talking about ways to strengthen our immune systems, ways to like fight off a viral infection if we had to take care of ourselves, right? Or even if it's not you, what if your mom or your dad got a viral infection? How would you know how to take care of them, right? Because there's got to be some home remedies and stuff like that they've used for years. Not to say it's going to be more effective than actual like prescribed type of hospital grade solutions, but you may reach a stage where you're having these respiratory systems, you develop some sort of viral pneumonia, and then you're going to have to take care of people. So we're going to talk about that stuff all throughout the day. Hello from the UK in isolation for the next 14 days. Hope everyone else is doing well. You out there, I hope you're doing well too, man. I hope you're doing well. Seems like the NHS is getting their act together with the testing too. In America, they're starting to get their act together with testing. So what they're saying is that there was a severe lack of testing in the early days, and up until like a week ago, coronavirus was not even really something that was tracked publicly like this. It really only escalated in the past couple days here, right? So they're saying that as this testing becomes more available, they're pumping out like millions of tests as we speak, as a result of the private sector like merging with or having that partnership with the federal government. They're going to be putting out like 5 million tests or something like that. So you can expect the amount of like confirmed cases to 5x or something like that in the next coming days. Giuseppe, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Remember, cargoes are out of hospital facility doctors such as dentists or chiropractors do not count on this list. So it doesn't count on the list. So they're talking about like family care doctors, surgeons, things like that only. So you're saying that those doctors could help out potentially. So is that good news or bad news? You gotta spell it out for me. It's really talking apocalypse, but it's really just a second influenza. Let's discuss that. Is it really just a second influenza? I don't think so, man. I don't think it's a second influenza, because if you look at the mortality rate on this COVID, it's not to say COVID is new. H1N1, SARS, all those things were actually types of coronaviruses in the past. So this is not like some brand new thing. But here's the thing. The mortality rate globally on coronavirus is 4%. And 4% is a very, very disturbing metric to some of these doctors, because it's 4% at the very early innings of this type of outbreak, right? So this is when medical care is going to be at its best. Ventilators are going to be at their highest quality. They may ramp up the amount of production on them, we'll have to see. But, these are early innings, and we're still looking at a 4% death rate. I think the influenza death rate is something like 1%. So you're looking at like a 4x death rate. Also, for people who smoke and people who have bad respiratory system, it's extremely dangerous for them. Influenza says 0.1%. So that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about a medical system in Europe, in Italy. This is an advanced medical system with lots of doctors and actually a pretty decent amount of ICU beds per 1,000 people. I think they have something like 12 ICU beds per people. In the UK, they have 9. In the US, I don't know the exact number. But even in Italy, advanced Western nation, 4% mortality rate. Tell me that's just the influenza. A lot of people think that COVID is a meme, dude. No meme here, man. Any real World of Warcraft player is already known to live in the quarantine. That's true. No, that's a funny. I like Taichi. Thanks for the comic relief there. Absolutely. I mean, we're used to social distancing, right? We were joking around about it yesterday on stream. Thankfully, this comes very naturally to us as a group. Imagine how many people who already died of this, labeled as pneumonia or the flu. Yeah, we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Some of the, oftentimes you may think to yourself, all right, is this CNN sensationalism? Is this Fox News, CBS News sensationalism when they say, when they talk about this flu? I'm talking about some of the, like there's this retired doctor named John something in the UK, and he studied this stuff his whole life, and I've been watching a lot of his videos, and he's been actually getting a lot. Let me find his name for those of you who might be interested. A lot of you guys maybe have watched his videos recently. His name is Dr. John Campbell. I'm just gonna link him in the chat. We just gotta chill him in the chat, man. He's been making a lot of videos about this topic, and I pretty much watched all of them. And even someone like him, kind of confirming what some of these news reports are saying, right? And then you have that Fushi guy, who's the leading, viral dude. That's part of the task force, saying that this is going to affect between 40 and 70% of the population when all is said and done, and that the turning point is going to be when there are more people infected than not infected, so the virus starts to actually starts to go down, starts to round that corner. So what they're hoping for is people like him is they're hoping that if we flatten the curve and we drag things out long enough. Right? It's not really to eradicate the virus. The virus is just going to be something we're going to have to deal with. It's to slow it down, that we can get it to the stage that in 2021 they're going to have the first, vaccines available, and they're moving pretty quickly with the vaccines, but that stuff takes a while. So that's definitely one thing that I don't know much about, guys. I'm curious if anybody knows about this. If you had to deal with a virus yourself, home care. Is there a way to even do it, man? Because viruses are kind of strange. Like they're sort of not alive, but they're sort of alive in the sense that they hijack your cells and force your cells to create the wrong kind of proteins. I don't know. It feels like you just have to. I always heard in the past you just kind of have to let viruses run their course, which is Jesus, man. These mystics. I might have to bounce, dude. It's got spats coming. Try and survive this situation right now. Alright, thankfully he's turning. Hey Carlos, just hit 60 on my hunter. I'm completely lost. I'm not sure what to do next. Can you give me advice? Unfortunately, I don't have time to raid. I would just make a bunch of gold, maybe. You could, I don't know. You just run some dungeons, man. You run some dungeons to get some previous gear. If you don't have time to raid... it's not that serious, man. I don't know. You could do some PvP, you could queue up. You should probably get some dungeon gear, then mess around, do some BGs, do some PvP. Depends what your goal is, but don't get overwhelmed, man. Just run some dungeons. Start the group yourself. I'm a biology major, but not an expert. There's no medicine that treats a viral infection. All you can do is boost your immune system and treat the symptoms. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I wonder if there's a way to make a respirator yourself, or some sort of makeshift respirator. So what is the goal of a respirator? Is it to provide oxygen? I assume it's, your lungs can't get enough oxygen, and that's one of the main symptoms of pneumonia, right? So you have to get oxygen into the lungs. So the respirator is basically some sort of oxygen therapy where it's pumping oxygen, with a little mask manually. Pure air, is that what it is? Yeah, yo, for real. Any smokers in here? You guys, now's the time to quit, man. For real. Because the death rate, the mortality rate on smokers is way higher. I mean, you're probably going to be fine. You're probably not going to get GG'd by it because we're all pretty young, even though we joke around about being boomers. But you should quit anyway, right? And, what if it just makes you weaker and you can't take care of your family or something? I don't know. People who smoke are in real danger. Yeah, the death rate on males too is higher than women. don't know if you guys noticed that as well. Yeah, I'm on lockdown. Yeah, I live in the Bay Area, and it's pretty insane, man. This is the first time I've ever gone through something like this as well. You know, there's something like 7 million people here that are now ordered to shelter in place for 3 weeks till April 7th. That's a long time. Now, that's another thing too, man. If you have fresh foods right now, you should probably eat the fresh foods first and keep the canned foods. With that said, it's pretty interesting that canned foods are pretty much king in this situation, right? I mean, fresh foods are good too, but when you go to the grocery store, if you're worried at all about the safety of food handling and stuff like that, and shelf life, shelf stability, you're going to be opting for those canned foods, those processed foods. Which is interesting. I went to the market yesterday before the lockdown hit. It was crazy to see. It was like a movie, man. No bottled water. Absolutely zero water. Zero water. Zero meat. I went to the meat section. The meat section looked like an empty fridge. The only meat that was left was some cold cuts, pretty much. Like some cold cuts bologna, cold cuts, you know, salami and all that type of stuff. Like, not really the high-prio meats. I picked up some meatballs just to get some more protein as well. I'm curious how you guys would feel about a lockdown. I'm in a lockdown right now. How do I feel about it? I feel like it's probably... I feel ready. I feel prepared. I feel good for it. I feel good. I feel good. Everything is squared away. Everything's itemized. I did yesterday. Yo, you guys should consider doing this as well, man. So if you're at your house right now, go do a functions check on all of your gear. So actually go to your flashlights, make sure there's fresh batteries in it. Go to your security cameras if you use like a Blink XRT or any of like the Nest type stuff. Make sure all the batteries are fresh and changed. Make sure everything is functioning well. Make sure you have bags that are ready to go. This is one thing I was going to ask you guys too. What situation would have to occur for you to leave your house? You know, when is it appropriate to actually go out to some sort of bug out location? There's not a whole lot that comes to mind. Like, you pretty much are just going to shelter in place. It would have to be, in order for you to leave your house, let me think. It would probably have to be some sort of immediate physical danger. It would basically have to be like looting and stuff like that, right? But even still with that, I still think you're better off at your house. You probably have a way better shot. You probably have a way better shot just staying at your house. You start going outside, dude. Probably riots. Actually, it's a good call. Yeah, because riots, that's true, man. If there is rioting in the streets for whatever reason, and then you're dealing with like a numbers issue where you're like super outnumbered, right? Then yeah, no, it makes sense. But then at that point, you're probably not going to go to a bug out location. You're probably just going to go to another family house. You know, the people who are killing it right now, I'm kind of jelly of them, man. The people who are killing it are the people who have like country estates. You know, some of the wealthy families have that. Even if some people just live out in the country, right? They're out there chilling. They got some acreage. They can, you know, plant crops. They have wells. They're chilling. They got the gate. They have the, you know, they have the dude, those people are just chilling right now. Me, you guys, a lot of you guys, you know, I live in the Bay Area. It's a populated area. There's neighbors on all sides. Not the greatest place to be, man. Really not a great place to be. MREs? Oh yeah, dude. Sorry, man, I love MREs. You guys can actually order the DoD MREs. You can, even civilians can order that on Amazon. I mean, it's probably all gone now, though, to be honest. 7 acres outside the city. Damn, dude. I am jelly. I'm just so glad my dad was big brain enough. He actually had bought a respirator and oxygen therapy thing like way in advance, like months ago. I don't know how he did it. That was genius. You got 6 cases of MREs. That's what's up, Sarmy. That is so cool. You have the brown ones, Sarmy. The ones that we you know, it's kind of like, I could pull one up later. Anybody ever have MREs? MREs are good. I like them. What's your favorite flavor? Did you try it yet, Sarmy? I think my favorite flavor is Southwest beans and rice. Maybe though. Hold up. Maybe not though. Favorite flavor? You know, actually, best MRE actually is the tuna one. You know why? Because they don't let us cook it usually. You have to just eat it cold. So the tuna, you already eat that cold instead of eating cold beans and rice. So, you know, tuna one, you eat cold. And here's the thing, because it's a tuna can and it's not that much food, they put extra shit in there. So they put like an extra bread. They put an extra M&Ms or something like that. So actually, the best bang for your buck with the MREs, if you have to pick one out of the box, is the tuna one. That was always my secret. Jalapeno cheese and peanut butter. Oh, dude, yeah, the jalapeno cheese slaps. I would always take advantage of that. People didn't like it, and you could usually get them for free. People just give it away. I like the jalapeno cheese. But yeah, man, do a functions check on all your gear. It's gonna make you feel better, more peace of mind. You know, just make everything is in the right place. Everything is like really nice and squared away. Oh shit, this is bad. Okay, Force Stomp, Nature's Grasp, Rejuve, Run. Everything is looking really good, dude. I spent, oh man, I kind of find it relaxing. I don't know if anybody can relate, but I spent a couple hours last night just going through everything, taking a count of everything that we have, right? You know, food wise, making a list pretty much. Food wise, consumable wise, toothpaste, shaving cream, razors, all that type of stuff. Counting it all out. Doing a functions check on all your weapons, all your gear. Making sure the car, full gas tank. Oh man, I'm ready to go, dude. Those oatmeal raisin cookies. Oh, true, actually. The baked goods and the MREs slap. I don't know who makes those, but those cookies, like the kind of crispy. Have you ever had MRE cookie? That is absolutely. Even just the bread in the MREs is really good. It's got a like unique texture. Best of luck with your druid. I just started to level a mage in Classic 32 now. That's what's up, Trastez. Is it against the HC rules to use iMorph? I would say probably, yeah. I mean, why? The thing is, it's against TOS, right? Isn't it an iMorph? So we're trying to make it a serious game mode that like Blizzard's cool with and stuff. I would say probably don't use iMorph. Yeah. I mean, I get it doesn't affect the balance, but the actual add-on, I'm pretty sure, is against TOS, right? iMorph. So if it's against TOS, I would say you shouldn't use it. Oh, the lemon lime drink, true, and the mocha, true. Yeah, that's the oftentimes only coffee you can get. What you got to do is you got to trade the coffee that comes for more food. If you can't make the coffee, because there's coffee in it, and a lot of people will make a ranger dip out of the coffee, so they'll take the coffee and they'll roll it up into a napkin, and they'll twist the napkin. Anybody know what dipping is? It's an American thing, I'm pretty sure. I never saw other countries do it. I don't dip personally. I think it's kind of gross, to be honest. But you know, people have like a bottle and they dip and they spit in the bottle. Have you seen that? So a lot of people, like in the military, they dip. So and you're not allowed to dip. So they will take the coffee and roll it up in a napkin, and then put it in their gums, and it'll kind of give you a little bit of like a pseudo dip kind of buzz type thing. Snus in Sweden. Oh yeah. So you have it there too, huh? Ranger dip. Yup. We need a slap emoji. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I like. This is like a kind of a needed posture check to a certain extent for a lot of people. I'd say a lot of people we forget how much of a privileged kind of spoiled life we live. I don't use the word privilege much, man, but we do live really good lives, right? Food is in abundance, everything is in abundance. So stuff like this happens. I don't think this is going to be the end of humanity by any means. I think we're going to overcome it together and have good teamwork, and it's going to be fine. But you know, I'm getting some kind of post-World War II kind of solidarity type vibes from a lot of people. People are getting their priorities back together and stuff like that. I don't know. Be right back, guys. Lunchtime with Wipey. See you soon. Peace out. Dip here in Canada is 25 a can, so no one uses it. 25 a can. Cheese and rice, dude. Cheese and rice. Me and all my brothers were in the food music industry. We're all out of jobs. Yeah. That's true. So they were talking about, what do you guys think about this? They were talking about giving everybody who works in those kind of industries $1,000 a month. Now, something needs to happen because those people are actually going to really be in trouble, right? Because the tech companies, banks, like my wife works for a bank, right? So it's not a problem. They can just work from home. It's not a big deal. You know, they just work remotely. It's already, you know, they already have, it's not a problem. They just hop on conference call, whatever. But if you work in a restaurant as a server, if you work, what else? Maybe airlines, maybe music, sports, and you're not in kind of a corporate, you kind of have to get your, you know, roll up your sleeves. Those people are in serious hot water, man. Like, what you know, what do we do about that? But what I would say is that people will find, I mean, at the same time, you could always go to your parents, go to your grandparents. Not everybody has that, though. But, you know, that's what I would do if right now. I would try to just hit up your family members and then just try to collab with them, join forces. If you smoke right now, switch to dip if you can and save your lungs. Ooh, interesting. Switching to dip as a health choice? What kind of world are we living in, ladies and gentlemen? That's insane. Switch to dip. It's way healthier in the coronavirus. So, like, you know, isn't that crazy? What type of stuff gets affected by this? You know, so you're saying, you know, maybe the dip people are doing better with their sales, and then the cigarettes are, you know, down. Just insane. What gets affected? Nicotine will suppress your immune system. Does it? Yeah, maybe. It's not the smoke, though. Yeah, one thing, guys, that I'm pretty excited about, I think a lot of people should be excited about, though, is right now, as we speak, companies, every industry, the world over right now, pretty much, is rapidly, with a fire under their ass, finding ways to function remotely and to function and continue to do business, normal business, from home. So what does that mean? That means the whole movement of working from home is gonna get like really accelerated, right? So, you know, some industries like finance is kind of old school. They value the human-to-human contact. It's always how they've done things, and they're like, no, we shouldn't work from home. We need people in the office. After this coronavirus pandemic, like, you know, settles, the dust settles, I think it's gonna be way more chill and accepted to work from home, and there's gonna be a lot more tools and a lot more ability to work from home, because a lot of companies will have already had that experience before. They're gonna be like, oh, remember what during COVID, like, you know, we were all still just dialing in or using this workspace or whatever, or even schools, you know, doing non-traditional teaching methods, maybe using tablets or whatever. So I mean, I hope that the world moves towards working from home, because working from home is insane. It's one of the best things, you know, working from, I mean, okay, quick straw poll of the chat. How many of you have to go into the office on just a normal day? How many of you have to commute into work? Let's just see. Or just type something. Put a 1 or something. Patch, what's going on, man? Every day. There it is. So if I were to ask those people who go into the office how much they would value working from home in terms of money, right? Let's say if you made $100,000 a year, or like, let's say, what's the median salary in the U.S., right? Maybe like $70,000 or something. Let's say you made $70,000 a year. How much of a pay cut would you take to work from home? If I was in that position, I would think most people would probably value it at like $20,000, which is a massive portion of their salary. Working from home is that juicy for a lot of people. You know, they would sacrifice $20,000, and they'd probably save a lot of money too, though, at the same time, because you're working from home. You don't have to pay the commute. You don't have to go buy lunch when you're out. You don't have to go buy Chipotle every day. You don't have to buy a burrito bowl every day. You don't have to get a poke bowl every day. You don't have to go buy a Diet Coke for $3. You know, and then, you know, you're just, you know. And then the company is going to save a lot of money too, because if you're cutting that much off the salary of people, that's probably good for the company too, as long as everybody's doing what they got to do, and you can make everything very deliverable oriented. Okay, so what, for those of you asking, what would you guys, how much is that worth to you? For those of you who commute right now, How much is working from home valued at? I don't enjoy working from home at all. No way. What do you mean, man? You don't like working from home at all. What kind of job would you have to not enjoy working from home? I'm curious. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. 20 grand is way too much for you, but you get to work from home, man. You get to actually be chilling, like in sweatpants with your dogs. You know, just get the, I don't know, man. That seems so juicy. Maybe it's just me, but. Everyone at my company is scrambling to work as many shifts as possible before economy completely tanks, which is problematic in a recession. We're all scared. What is your industry? If I take 15K a year salary off to work from home, oh yeah, that's what's up, Chris. No, I'm on the same page, man. I was asking Wifey this before. I mean, Wifey works 1 day a week from home, but after this, man, I mean, she works 1 day a week from home, but most of the time she'll work 2 days a week from home. She has a long commute though, like an hour and a half or so each way. So for her, like 20 grand. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. If you have to commute for 1 hour to work, if you have to commute for 1 hour to work, 1 hour away, and you work 8 hours, that's a solid 20% of the salary. Yeah. I mean, she commutes like an hour and a half each way, right? So that is, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised though. People don't seem to be that hyped about the working from home. That could just be a personal thing, honestly. Like with Levy. I feel like working from home is the dream though, because if you work from home, you can kind of, as long as you get your shit done and you still perform really well, and you get a task and you do the task, you can travel and stuff too. You don't necessarily have to be at home. You can have a mobile office and you can go do a vacation if you want to do a vacation, or just so much more flexibility. Like when these kind of disasters happen, you're able to just make money, no problem, fine. How you liking Druid so far? Oh yeah, I gotta catch up with Grizz, definitely. He's still alive, huh? That's great to hear. Can you give me more intel on Fury dual wielding for leveling PvP? So yeah, Fury dual wielding. We didn't do Fury dual wielding. We went Arms dual wielding. I think it's better than Fury. I don't know what you guys think. I do feel like it's better than Fury. Probably just overall, but Fury is still probably competitive and like has its own merits as well. Like you generate more rage with Fury is the main thing, and you do have some extra survivability tools with like Piercing Howl. But Overpower is really juicy, and then if you do swap to a two-hander for the Overpower, which it felt really good to do, it's got to be better, man. If you're able to keep up with some weapon progression with a two-hander and one-handers, I think that's not one of those things that just sounds good in practice. I do think you can pull it off. We did it. The quality of life was fine. You can bake it into a macro, so every time you overpower, you swap to a two-hander. Felt really good, and I think that's the way I'm going to level Warriors from here on out. What vacation? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying in general, man. In general. For me, it's great since I have everything close. I can wake up, go to my local bakery, 2-minute walk, buy fresh bread, and start my shift. Simply amazing. Alright, that's not bad. 2-minute commute. The title says it all, man. I heard on the news SF is on 24-hour lockdown. Oregon is getting shut down faster and faster as well. Damn, I would think Oregon would be chill. Yeah, SF, the whole Bay Area. Lockdown till April 7th, guys. We're on day 1 of 22. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Imagine how much Netflix is going to gain from this. True, though. Oh, J. Allen Brack in the chat. What's up, man? How's it going? Washington is next. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to do a whole domestic. I would imagine they're going to do just a domestic, just across the nation. Everything's going to be locked down for a couple weeks. Yo, Dustbone, what's going on, man? Good to see you, Dusty. What state you live in? I live in California right now in the Bay Area. So a lot of stuff is shut down. Pretty much everything. I'm actually curious to see if the fast food places are shut down. Anybody know anybody from California? I didn't even peek my head out today. I just woke up, had the coffee, and started the stream up. I'm really curious to see if they shut down stuff like Mickey D's, In-N-Out. Probably, right? It's not essential, those businesses. Jack in the Box, all the fast foods. I feel like they gotta be locked down. Fast food isn't shut down. Oh, okay. You still do drive through and pick up. Okay, I was curious about that. Can you drive around? Yeah, you can drive around. So apparently this is how the lockdown works. You can go visit family members. You can go to the grocery store, gas station, or bank, or pharmacy. And those are the only places you're allowed to go. And you're not allowed to eat in food courts or restaurants. You have to take everything you go. Which all makes sense. I really hope my generator gets here on Wednesday, though, guys. You think Amazon is gonna? What do you guys think? You think the Amazon supply chain and the delivery chain is still gonna hold up? They gotta be getting a monstrous amount of orders right now. I mean, everybody's ordering on Amazon, I bet. Wifey home cars? She might pop in. Yeah, she's home. She's home for the next 3 weeks. It's just so crazy. So crazy. Almost 30. Oh, that's what's up, Dusty. That's what's awesome. On hardcore, right? Amazon in my area shut down. Wow. That's insane, dude. The CCP basically screwed us all by covering up the virus for months. I don't know, man. Did they, though? Like, I don't know if there's some conspiracy here. It's a new virus. They just probably, like, this is new. This is uncharted waters for a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like the response in America I hear that a lot. People are like, I can't believe America isn't testing. I can't believe America isn't testing. Like crazy. They probably had a couple weeks where they could have done something a little bit faster. But it's the government. It's the federal government, man. It moves slow. And I feel like now they're taking a lot of decisive action to help spread it, to help limit the spread. I've been kind of impressed with the reaction so far. I'm putting all my Amazon packages in a separate room. Ooh, got a big brain. The first U.S. case was in January. We had 8 weeks to prepare plans and get test kits. Okay. They're prioritizing necessities. So the Amazon Fresh, or whatever you call it, with the groceries, is absolutely wiped right now. And you can still buy some stuff. Honestly, if you guys don't have water, I would buy some of the water on Amazon. I know it's expensive, the 6-packs, but you really should have a couple cases of water. And your grocery store might be GG. Yeah, I don't know. So, what do you guys think about the grocery stores? You think they're going to be restocked, like everyone keeps saying? I think this is what I think was probably going to happen. They're probably going to restock them. And the supply chains, I do kind of believe it when they say the supply chains are reasonably strong for now. But here's the thing. There's going to be people ready to gobble that stuff up too, right? I mean, if the grocery store gets new stock in the morning, I feel like there's going to be a line there of people who want to get in there. I mean, you're going to be like social distancing, and then as soon as the store opens, bam, everybody's inside. You're going straight for the eggs, you're going straight for the bread, milk, water, all that, and they're just going to be... They probably have to put a cap on how much water you can get. You think they should? They probably should. They honestly probably should, because then one person could just go in there and buy the entire supply of water if they wanted to. They should do a cap. Like, everybody can just buy 5 cases of water each or something like that. Only 3 of each item per. That's smart. That's smart. Yeah. So, wow, your uncle's a GM of a big Y. That's so cool. That's why I love streaming. You get so many perspectives. Hey, where's everybody from in the chat right now? I'm curious. Let me check in on the pandemic progress. 1 second. I'm gonna link you what I've been using to like track it. It may not be the most accurate, but they do sync it up with the official government reports once per day at least. So I'm gonna link this to you guys, and it's just interesting to watch it. There's 84,000 people watching this right now. I'm gonna put it in the chat right there. Where are you from? I'm from New York. I currently live in California right now. Let's see. Netherlands, Iowa, Tracy, California. Oh, close by. San Fran. Holy. Upstate New York, Finland, New York, Oklahoma, UK. How's it over there in the UK, James? NHS freaking out, or everything's how is it? Denmark, Alaska. We live social distancing. Yeah, Alaska, you're probably fine, dude. You're probably fine. Yeah, there's lockdown in California, so the whole Bay Area. Well, 6 out of 8 counties in the Bay Area. So thankfully, the county where my parents are, they don't have lockdown, so they can still, you know, move around a little bit. But where I'm from, lockdown for 3 weeks. Voting for the presidential primary got shut down today due to COVID-19. Thing is, you can still vote by mail though, right? So it's not really the end of the world. Oh shit, we pulled Koenig and something else. We need Koenig, right? Do I not need Koenig? Pretty sure I do. Oh, I do need Koenig. Okay. Alright, I found it. Is water getting shut off in California? No, not at the moment. No signs that it would. It seems like people are, when I talk to people about that, it seems like people are very optimistic about the water supply and everything like that. You think, what do you guys think about that? Is there any chance the water gets shut off? Like, what would have to happen in order for the water to get shut off? Is there anything we can look back at historically? Water is pretty consistent. Like, electricity usually shuts down and the water is still running. But it seems like people are putting a lot of the eggs. People are putting a lot of their eggs in the basket that says water will always be there. Toonzusso1 with the Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it, man. Welcome. Welcome to the coronavirus bunker. I live on a well. That's pretty huge, man. You live on a well. I actually have a well, but I'm lacking. I don't have it hooked up. It's not waterborne, so it only shut off if critical employees were at serious risk. Well, what if there is a viral outbreak at one of the facilities, right? So I assume they have some kind of water processing plant somewhere. I don't know exactly how it works, but please don't pull, please don't pull. All right, we're good. But imagine there was like an outbreak at that, and a bunch of people had to go to hospital. It would probably have to shut down, right? I think it's. I don't think it's going to shut down though. Like I'm not trying to be a doomer here. I think the water's going to be fine. I do think the electricity though. People are kind of trolling on the electricity. So right now with everybody at home, what do you guys think about this? Do you think the energy grid is being more or less utilized? So on one hand, all the businesses, or a lot of them, are closed. So I don't know what portion or percentage of the whole energy utilization is from businesses. But I would assume, you have like 100 people in this one office though, and they're all, they have this one light bulb powering a bigger area. If everybody's at home, everybody's watching Netflix, everybody's on the computer, everybody's cooking, everybody's doing this, I would assume it would be more on the energy grid usage. Crix Gaming with the tier 1 sub gifted 11 total in the channel, gifting it to my man Pechio. Crix, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Energy grid is fine. Less. Okay, most people are saying less. Okay, that's pretty nice. So you think it's less, huh? Let's get some more responses here. What do you guys think? More or less energy gonna be used with everybody home? Way less from big end industry running at low capacity. Okay. Okay, so to play devil's advocate though, maybe the overall amount of energy used is less, but there's going to be more strain on the individual neighborhood transformer boxes. Or does that not even make sense? I'm not an electrician. I know barely anything about wires. It's actually embarrassing. But the individual neighborhood transformer boxes, you know, you see the big pole with the telephone lines on it, and it has the big gray box on it that the PG&E comes around, and, you know, there's probably... What's up, dude? Oh, no, I'm streaming that. Wifey wants to talk about refinance with the zero interest rate. They'll do anything to keep electricity up as long as possible. Wait, so what did you guys think about this, though? They're designed for high strain usage. Well, at least here in California, I'll tell you, the energy boxes, they go out a lot. It happens once a month is a stretch. Maybe once every 2 months, the energy box goes out. So I would imagine, since there's really not a consequence of calling out from work, that there's probably less crews or more demand to go fix these transformer boxes. That I guess where I'm getting to is that if your power goes out, it's probably going to be longer before they can fix the transformer box, right? Are y'all allowed to go to work since you're on lockdown? No, everybody has to work remotely or just not work for a little bit. Okay. Too many geomancers, all right. Yo, HC Doc, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. I work for a water filter plant. If it gets back, we will live here. Bad. I work for a water filter plant. If it gets bad, we will live here. You will live here. What does that mean? You're gonna live at the plant? It's gonna prevent you guys from getting... dude, that's kind of big brain. That's kind of sad for you, though, man. So if it gets really bad, the outbreak, they're just gonna keep you in the plant. You have to live there?
Weebs and gamers shall inherit the earth. Rue raised fist.
Yeah, what up, Griggs? Oh no, that's not Griggs. It's Cozy Crusader with the 20 coronas. I was about to say, Griggs doesn't have that kind of coronas. Yo, is that currency actually called Corona? Or no, Krona, right? Never mind, sorry. Thank you very much, Cozy Crusader, for the 20, man, for the 20 coronas. Kind of sounds like Corona, though. Thank you, man. We are very good at social distancing, very naturally, right? So. Oh, crowns. You guys told me it was called Coronas with a K, though. Oh, okay, crowns. Thank you very much, Toby. Be smart and download a bunch of console or non-internet games. Yo, that's a big brain, Crix. You already know I have that, though. If you look behind me, I got the N64, I got the GameCube, I got Mario Tennis. I got, you know, Luigi's Mansion, all the GameCube games, Star Fox 64. I'm good on that front, but I didn't think about that. True, man. So wait, what did you guys say? You think? Do you think it's possible though that like if a transformer blows up, it's gonna take longer for them to repair that? Like I mean. That's got to be the case, right? So that's why I think a generator is pretty clutch. That's why I'm getting a generator on Wednesday. GameCube, yo. Should host an NPR, dude. One day. Gamer NPR. What are you guys concerned about, though? What are your deficiencies right now, guys? We're here to help. The Hive Mind. We're all here. You guys have any concerns? You have any problems? You guys have no water? Do you guys feel like you have no food? Do you have no gas? Are you worried about stuff? Let's talk about it, man. Hospital supplies in the next week. So one issue right now is a lot of the people that have to do the testing are not able to get the protective equipment that they need. So that is, you know, as they ramp up testing, that's a big concern. 550 watt generator. That might have been what I ordered, man. It might have been that or 7500. Yeah, but like, what do you need to run with the generator? What I would assume I would run is the fridge. That's the #1 prio, right? Thinking about it, guys. If you had to run something with the generator, you would probably just keep the fridge on because your perishables are in there and you don't want your perishables to go bad. And then other than that, probably run the security cameras. Because that's defense, right? So defense, you know, that you're dealing with food and defense there. Those are pretty like prio. Yeah, fridge bro #1. Breathing devices, yeah, big true. Don't have any myself, but like I said, isn't that big brain? My pops actually months ago he ordered a oxygen therapy and respirator and all that, and he's older. Like I'm concerned because where his head was at was totally different from me. That's why it's so nice to have the hive mind. I'm over here worried about food, water, defense, all this type of stuff, and he's like, James, you're not thinking about your ability to beat a virus yourself. And I'm gonna keep referring back to that. Like, do you guys feel confident that you could, you know, defeat a virus by yourself with no hospitalization? I don't know. I don't even know what the natural antivirals are. I would just YouTube it and try to make some myself. But I should probably have that turmeric stuff you guys were talking about yesterday. I should have some around the house. Wifey might. She uses it a lot for like makeup and stuff. But having some natural antivirals. Here's another big brand thing, guys. So you guys know what NSAIDs are? What's an NSAID, guys? Finland banned over 10 people gatherings. Yeah, they did that. The same thing in the U.S. as well. Central air unit, if it's cold. Yeah, true heat. I'm not too worried about that though, because that takes a lot of energy, right? So what's going to happen if you power your HVAC? It's going to use a lot of your propane or your fuel, not for a big reason, because you can always just make a fire or you can bundle up if it's cold. I wouldn't use it for that. I think fridge is prio. Yeah, NSAIDs, it's like an anti-inflammatory pain reliever, fever reducer type of thing, right? So Motrin, Advil, what else? Things like that. I mean, I don't think acetaminophen is a NSAID. What else? There's a couple. It's a whole class of drugs. Pretty much, when people get a fever, and like, let's say you're in Italy right now. Imagine you're in Italy and you got the fever, and people look for ways to assert control over the situation because you're feeling so shitty and you just want to make things better. You want to do everything in your power to like heal your loved ones or yourself. So you naturally want to go take some NSAID. You want to take a fever reducer. It looks like the thing that you should take, and everybody has it. So this doctor named John, I keep forgetting his name, but I've been watching all of his videos. I'm telling you, he's huge brand. His name is John Campbell, right? He was saying, no, not Benadryl. Benadryl is for allergies and it makes you sleepy. And so this is what he was saying, that you can save a lot of lives in Italy. There could be a lot of lives saved in Italy if you don't take the NSAID. I repeat, if you for some reason contract coronavirus, do not take Advil, ibuprofen, NSAID. Isn't that bizarre? I literally never would have thought. Isn't that crazy? There's basically what happens is that, you know, once the virus enters your body's immune response is to get these febrile, you know, to go into a febrile state, raises the temperature up. It's an immune response. So when you lower your fever, you're actually like preventing your body from addressing the issue itself, which seems so crazy to me. But you already know that people in Italy, because I would have done it too. Imagine if you got, you know, coronavirus right now, you'd be popping Advil all day because you'd be feeling so shitty and you want to, you know, lower your fever. But I mean, and again, like, obviously don't take this too seriously because that thinking could change. Maybe I'm obviously not a doctor or anything, but that was a very mind-blowing thing. Yeah, I heard NSAIDs are bad with COVID. Yo, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that could actually, you know, help some people. If your fever exceeds 105, take an NSAID because 106 causes brain damage. Oh, okay. I feel like you're a nurse or something, Selena. You've got some big brain knowledge in here. You know, I was going to enter a uni EU this autumn and leave the very bad place I live at right now, but I'd not be able to fly there. Damn. It's super dangerous to want a 104-degree temperature for a long period of time, though, and ibuprofen can bring that down. Yeah, see, that's huge. Do you guys have thermometers? So I have some thermometers, but what concerns me is they're not, honestly, the thermometers I have are not that accurate. I really don't think they're accurate. So I have some disposable ones too, and yo, you would be surprised. They're probably all cleaned out right now already, guys. But anybody know what a Dollar Tree is? Probably the European folks won't know what it is, or Dollar General. I say specifically Dollar Tree because that's where I go to stock up, just on like extra kind of preparedness supplies. You know, just extra. Like I'll just pop in there and then just spend like $50 on stuff, and then you get 50 items. So you can get a whole lot done at the Dollar Tree, man. It's actually pretty solid. Like you can get ibuprofen there for $1. You can get gauze. Just stock up on tons of gauze. You can get, you know, you can get masks there. I mean, it's probably all just wiped out right now. But in future reference, Dollar Tree is huge. Just go there and stock up on tons and tons of extra like medical supplies. Afternoon, bro. What's up, Mocha? Good to see you, my man. Hey, just started with hardcore. It's really fun, although I died 3 times at like level 6, but I'd like to participate in the tournament. Would it be legal to stream on Discord? Thing is, Discord doesn't capture. That's the thing, Modlars. We'd have to review the VOD afterwards. But if you don't think you have a shot of being like in the top place, man, then it doesn't really matter, man. You can stream on Discord. But in order for it to be like kind of counted towards the runnings, then you know, you have to stream. Mocha only with the 2-month hot streak, 3 months total sub. Thank you so much, Mocha, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, my man. Alright, let's go back to Crossroads. We finished this. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Record locally? You could, but I'm saying for the competition, we used to say stream or record locally, but we had some issues last time where like the person couldn't upload it in time, and it was really tight, and we couldn't give it a good review. It ended up being fine because we reviewed it after, but streaming is definitely just the play for the tournament. Wasn't it anti-inflammation drug bad? Anti-fever okay? Paracetamol. Oh yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, paracetamol. They're saying that might be one exception to the NSAID. I don't know. I think what they said is perfect. If you get a super high fever where it's potentially going to cause brain damage, then yeah, definitely take a fever reducer. But if you can help it, try to just get through it without that. So, all right, moving on to another topic, because in the interest of prevention is better than the cure, right? Are there any confirmed ways to improve your immune system, guys? I have some thoughts on this matter, but we have time right now. Pretty much all of us are healthy. We're still in the early innings of this. If we want to improve our immune system and get healthier and get stronger so that we never get GG'd, what can we do right now? Like confirmed ways of improving it. Is Tylenol bad for kidneys? Tylenol is acetaminophen, right? Acetaminophen? Why do you take acetaminophen? I really don't know. Because, yeah, it's a fever reducer. Yeah, it's a pain reliever. But no one really knows exactly how acetaminophen works. It just does. Why would you not just take ibuprofen? The way I look at it is like we're all grown-ass men and women, right? So we're probably inflamed in some way. It just is what it is. We're getting older. Like there's probably some shit that's inflamed at any given time. I would rather just take ibuprofen. I don't see any real use case that explicitly calls for acetaminophen. One, you don't really understand how it works, like mechanically, as well. It's just kind of like this mystery. Two, it has those types of things. People say that it does affect kidneys or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it would be strictly better to take ibuprofen. Oh, it depends on interactions with other drugs. Okay, that's kind of big brain. Exercise and healthy diet. Feels like exercise is the play, man. Especially, alright, I mean, this may not exactly be rocket science, but it's coming together for me. So especially if this COVID is, the main thing that kills you with the COVID, right, is your, is the pneumonia, right? Shortness of breath, and your lungs aren't pumping that well, right? And they're saying smokers are the most at risk. The people with compromised respiratory systems. So honestly, this probably is true. I'm guessing right now. Let me know what you guys think. Cardio. So strengthening your lungs has to be the play right now. Doing cardio. Getting your heart rate up and getting your lungs like strong. So, right? It's gotta be. Because that's what ends up killing you, right? The pneumonia, the viral pneumonia that does permanent damage to your lungs. I think you gotta get your lungs strong, dude, for real. Like, more so than other just viruses in general. Like, I think with specifically COVID, having strong lungs is gonna be massively, massively clutch. Because if you defeat pneumonia, it's probably your lungs doing it. Yo, Niville, what's up, man? How you doing, baller? NSAIDs will do damage to the GI lining at high dosage or if taken without food. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, that's a good little... So, yeah, don't OD it, right? I probably take too much ibuprofen when I do because, like, in the military, they give you... they don't give you the little soy boy 200 milligram pills. They give you 800 milligram pills. It's like a fatty pill. So I got used to that dosage. So every time I take ibuprofen, I take 4 of them, which is 800 milligrams, which may be OD. I'm not sure. I'm a somewhat larger dude. I'm about 200 pounds or so and 6'1". So I figure a lot of those dosages were made for, you know, everyone of all sizes included. So I figured 800 milligrams would be fine. Some people take 1600 milligrams because I remember when people were hurting, like their hips were all jacked up or something, they would give them 2 of those 800 milligrams. I had pneumonia right before COVID rolled around. Definitely don't want round 2. Yeah, it looks terrible. Shortness of breath sounds extremely terrifying. Of ibuprofen. Yeah, some people take 1600, man. Young people are not at risk. Old people are, but young people can carry the virus. Young people are at risk in many other ways, though, Golter. I hear you. Like, I don't think we're gonna get GG'd by the virus. With that said, there are still people under 30 that have coronavirus, man, and there will be some casualties from that. But I'm saying, like, if you get hurt in another way and you have less access to medical care, or you know, even just financially you get messed up, or let's say that you need, you know, a certain type of medicine, there's less access to, all I'm saying is you got to think of the indirect implications of it and how it could affect your life in other ways, because the financial impact on the global markets is probably potentially going to do more damage than even the amount of human casualties we're going to experience as a result of this, right? Because there's already like $2.2 trillion in stimulus going around the U.S. I only imagine what other countries going on. Like, there's probably all types of care and aid going on, so everyone's going to get affected, man. I would take it very seriously. I'd be curious if there's a way to make some kind of respirator at your house. 1600 milligrams of ibuprofen is okay, only if it's very short term. Okay. Yeah, let me get a drink real quick, guys. I'll finish my drink. Alright, I'm back. Stay healthy and relaxed. Love that you help us ease our minds with this awesome druid love. Please take care of this Torn boy. I would love to see him think 60 within the next 22 days. Yo, that's very kind of you to say, my man. Thank you very much, Jenner there. Man, oh man. Just got the message from my boss that we are going to work from home another week. Oh, dude, this might be a little bit more than a week. It may be a little bit more than a week, man. What professions are good for a troll warrior? I was thinking about mining and skinning, but not sure. If you're going for pure raw gold, John, if you're doing like a hardcore character, then skinning skinning herb is the best. But it seems like you're not doing hardcore characters. So with that said, you probably want to go mining engineering. Mining engineering would be really good while leveling up because you can use the auction house and stuff like that. I would probably go mining engineering. You get bombs, stuff like that. Because you're playing a normal character. Prepare for months, boys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Yo, I mean, at first I was thinking you should have enough food for like a month or two. Maybe now I'm just... Well, I mean, what do you guys think, man? I think I could last about 6 months right now. I'm trying to be realistic. I think 3 months comfortably. Another 3 months if you really pushed it and started eating all the stuff that you don't want to eat and stuff like that. 6 months. I mean, I hope it doesn't get to that point, but... Have you ever tried considered dual boxing while leveling? I'm totally over multi-boxing, Munich. I did it for the first couple weeks of Classic, or maybe even the first couple months of Classic. Everywhere I went, that was dual boxing. I had IS Boxer, and I pretty much would always and only and exclusively play the game with 2 accounts running at the same time. I've sort of come full circle with that now. I don't really like it. I don't think it's good for the game. I think it should be against TOS, so I stopped doing it.
Strength.
Depends if people will go full zug on the fridge. Yeah, I mean, that's why I went and did another pass of more groceries yesterday because, you know, when you have lots of food around the house, you do eat it at an increased rate. So I was thinking to myself, man, we are tearing through shit. We gotta get some more stuff. So I went out and I did another pass. 4 to 6 months of food store restock in some 2 months. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, so I thought we had a ton of stuff, right? I don't know if you guys are in a similar boat. And you're probably going to go through the same thing. If you actually itemize everything out and write it all out, and you put it all out, so I took everything we had, and I put it on the dining room table and all in that whole area, and I counted it all up, all the paper towels, all the TP, all the food stores, everything like that. When you see it all in front of you like that, it makes you realize, wow, we really don't have that much. So if you do the same, you might think, you know, you bought 3 cases of paper towel rolls of the day. You may think you have a ton. If you list it all out, you're going to realize it's not that much.
I am forsaken.
I'm not going to do this quest. It's too late. What am I going to do? Let's see. Let's go do... Oh, we still need the Zevra too? Okay, we'll just finish that real quick. You know what's tough? Buying 3 months of baby food. Yeah, man. But babies can eat regular food though, right? It doesn't have to be baby food, right? What was the whole reasoning again of why baby food even exists? I wonder, because you know we never had baby food for the tens of thousands of years we existed. All my meals are from local delivery so far, and they're expected to not be affected by COVID-19. Can't help but wonder, though. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's concerning, right? Like, when you order food, that's what I'm saying. Processed foods are weirdly kind of king right now. Never experienced that before. But when it comes to viral outbreaks, you know, the processed food is actually safer food. Thing is, if you're going to eat delivery and stuff like that, now is probably the time to do it because we're still in the early innings, right? So the chances of some stuff being infected is pretty low. comparatively to how it's going to be down the line. So also that, you know, when it comes to going getting more food stores and stocking up, now is a better time than later. Anyone hyped for the cup still? Oh yeah, dude, I'm super hyped. On the 28th, we got it going on. We're going to still be in lockdown mode then. What's the cup? The cup is a Hardcore Community Cup number 2. The first one we had a lot of great traction with. We had 2 to 3K concurrent viewers. People had a good time. Had a nice finals on it. We're going to do Hardcore Cup number 2, which is going to be on the 28th. Everybody can play in it. Make a new guy. We're going to simulate a fresh server environment. Cup is going to be packed. Everybody's inside, right? True, though. True, though. Yep. That's the weird thing. So while most entertainment is probably getting GG'd, it seems like... Well, what do you guys think? You think more people are watching streams now? I'm looking at the viewership right now on the side. It seems like it's about normal or even a little bit less. Usually you have a couple people streaming 2, 3K. It seems like less people are actually watching right now, just in general. Looking at all the channels I usually watch. Weird. You'd think it'd be more, but I don't know. Twitch and YouTube have been having slowdowns because of all the people watching. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, no, I'm on the same page. I wouldn't rely on delivery food. Whew, kind of low, 73. These zebras slap, dude. Can you have an award for the cup for best death? Yeah, that's a great idea, dude. I was thinking about that the other day. Wouldn't that be sick if we had a vote for best death, best this, best that? Like more fun stuff, because a lot of times people watching aren't necessarily even that hyper interested in who's going to be the fastest, but they just want to see entertaining deaths. They want to see like nice moments. So that's one thing we could do. Highlight some of the greatest moments and some of the best deaths. It'll also give players who don't really have a shot of being like the fastest a reason to actually try their best, right? I like that idea a lot, my man. Did we not get our 4th zebra hoof? Wow. Okay. They win a 6-pack of TP, man. Also, dog food. Make sure you guys have enough food for your pets, right? I ordered some more, but I have a good amount. Yeah, I think I could hold it down for 6 months. As of right now, I don't think I would ever. I wouldn't have to step outside of my house. As of right now, for 6 months. How long you guys think you could hang in there for? Someone's at the door. You hear that? You hear that, man? Someone's at the door, fam. I don't know who that is, man. No one's selling solar panels right now. Here those doggos, right? 1 second. If I don't come back, call EMS. Got a package. Guys, what's best practice with this? I got a new package right now. Do I de-corona this? Do I wash my hands? Probably, right? A little safety exercise on stream. Should probably wash my hands. Let me go do that. Dude. Good to see that Amazon's still pumping though, right? Y'all wash your cell phones. First of all, big true, dude. I'm actually surprised that I'm surprised stuff isn't spreading. Cell phones are just, there's almost no way around it too, right? Doesn't that kind of surprise you how dirty cell phones are and how you kind of have no choice but to touch it? So you can keep trying to wipe it down, but yeah, you can see the holes, the cracks, right? Ammo getting low. Thankfully, there's no concerns there. I have a ton of 5.56, 22 long LR, 9mm, 12 gauge, slugs. I'm good on that front. It's super good. I've been doing little mini kind of mini little kind of tests too, like functions checks on gear, equipment, strategy, and stuff like that. That's why I feel ready, dude. Put on latex gloves before opening the package. Remove gloves and wash hands after. It's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm ready. Everything is ready. That is the strat. This is the strat that I feel the most kind of hype around. I don't know. No one really reacted to it yesterday, but I'll tell you, the #1 way to practice home defense, or the #1 strat for home defense, I really do believe in my heart of hearts, and every single person can benefit from this, is to set up a fighting vest for yourself. I know you think I'm crazy, man, but it is the most revolutionary thing. It was that type of thing I just knew it was the best play ever as soon as I set it up. And what do I mean by that is you set yourself up kind of a chest rig fighting vest that you have right near your bedside, right? And I'm telling you, man, in a 5-second window, because you pretty much need to be ready to go in a matter of seconds, not minutes, right? There is no time to scramble and get everything you need. So in a matter of seconds, if you were trying to, you know, in a sleepy, groggy, dark state, all you got to do is put on a vest, which anybody can do reflexively, and then you are in like peak fighting condition. I'm telling you, man, it's the play. It's the play. I hope someone tries it. Not a thing in Europe. Well, it could be a thing anywhere. You just set up a vest. You don't necessarily even need to have firearms, man. I'm telling you, you don't need to have firearms, but I'm just saying, you had everything you would need in a vest. This is what I mean. I'm asleep, I'm unconscious, I wake up, middle of the night, you just look right, look left, grab your vest, and you throw it on. And if you think about it, at that point, yeah, fighting vest. I don't think people are understanding what I mean by that. You have everything you need and then some. So, you know, you would have like a pair, at least for me, I have a pair of handcuffs. I have like a flashlight in one of the pockets as well. You have tons of extra mags around the bottom part. And then, you know, you have a secondary weapon. You don't necessarily have to, like if you're in a place that doesn't have firearms, then you could, you know, just put like, you know, an extra knife or some kind of like bear mace or something like that. But you throw this vest on, because if you didn't have that vest, you're going to be like butt naked in your house, you know, holding like a pistol or something like that, and you have nothing else. You have no extra mags. You have nothing. You're just standing there in your boxer shorts. You know, you're not really in a great position at that point. But when you have a vest on, man, oh man, you become so much. Your power level spikes way up. What's in the vest?
Cargos has one of those Call of Duty tutorial training courses in his backyard. Looters better beware. The Chad doesn't mess around.
Yo, Chris, thanks for the 10, dude. No, I don't have a training. I do have a nice little plinking setup though for the air rifles. We can't discharge firearms here in my county. So, why do you need weapons to fight a virus? You don't need it to fight a virus, but you need it to, you know, if there's scarcity of finite goods and resources, and if someone tries to break in or something like that, like I live in a very population-dense area, right? And if, you know, someone tries to break in and grab stuff or whatever, you know. I'm picturing a McLovin vest. Oh yeah, zip ties. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, one second. I'm telling you guys, this is #1 proprietary strat. It will give you so much more peace of mind. Give you so much more peace of mind. For home defense, it could be whatever you have access to, but you set up a vest. This is what mine looks like right here. It's a vest that you just throw on. You can do it while you're groggy in the middle of the night. It has compartments on it. It has Molly webbing on it. You can keep like a speed loader in one. You can keep... What else is in here? Little flashlight. Little high lumen flashlight. Best thing ever, man. It's just the strat that I'm like most proud of, man. No, I have sappy plates. Yeah, well, you're talking about the IOTB, right? I have that by my rucksack. It's not a bulletproof. It's not a bulletproof vest. It's just like a little flick. I live in Germany. I never thought about such a thing. I'm telling you, man, it's the best play. Because if someone is gonna break in your house, you're gonna only have seconds to react, right? And you're not gonna be in a great state of mind. You're not gonna be ready. And if you're fumbling around, and you can even try this at your house, try to actually lay down and envision somebody kicking in your door. Oh, I have a flashlight in there too. Yeah, there's one right in the pocket. Multiple flashlight sources. There's also just one on the actual, you know. But imagine someone kicking in your door. And you're in your boxer shorts because nobody's sleeping fully clothed up in tactical gear. Like, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be in your boxer shorts. You're gonna be butt naked. You're gonna have sweatpants on, like, you know, like a tank top or something like that. Someone kicks in your door and you have 10 seconds to get on target. 90% of the people watching right now would be fumbling through their drawer trying to find shit. Like, it would be too late, man. Be honest. So, you know, practice it. Have some kind of system that you can do when you're in just a really like semi-conscious kind of state. The guy that breaks in doesn't have a gun too. Oh, they're gonna have a gun in America. If you're breaking into a house in America, dude, there's a lot of guns in America. Like, if you're gonna, you know, be that type of person to go try to loot and break in, you're definitely gonna be strapped. My husband would all of a sudden come into the room and say, okay, think about someone trying to get in the store. Now what do? Don't think, react. I get that deer in headlights. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's where you got to practice it. And I'm telling you, the whole fighting vest thing, I think is genius. You can look at all these different, you know, home defense channels, preparation, readiness channels. For some reason, I never saw anybody advised to do that. But all you got to do is throw on a vest, and then you're more than prepared to deal with the situation. My old captain used to tuck a pistol into his sweatpants when he was home in Baltimore. That's some safety implications there. Yeah, exactly. You gotta practice too, right, Sunrap too, because honestly, people always say, you know, people want to have all these, you know, flashy type of firearms or whatever it is to defend your house, but you need to be proficient with it. If you're more proficient with like a bow and arrow, use a bow and arrow, dude. You actually have to be proficient in where you use it. Bow and arrow is actually kind of slap too, though. Where'd you get your vest? I think I just got mine on Amazon. But yeah, go look at like a FLIC, fighting load carrier, is what it stands for. That's the abbreviation. So it's just like a little, you know, it's not like an armored. It's not like an armored vest or anything like that, but this is the abbreviation. It's a fighting load carrier. Order a vest, have it shipped to your house, and then just load it out with everything you would need to address a situation if someone were to break in, right? Some zip ties, you know, handcuffs, flashlight, you know, whatever you have access to, some kind of like secondary weapon system, anything like that. Where do you live that you have 22 days of lockdown? I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live in East Bay. Crossbows, think about crossbow. Is the crossbow, you only have one shot. Because the thing with the crossbow, if you ever used it, you have to step on it and then pull it back. And it's got like, it's kind of heavy. It's like 50 pounds. And some kind of break-in or like home defense kind of situation, you have one shot with the crossbow. You could have one prepped right there, and then you get up, you get the crossbow, and you fire like one bolt. But after that, it's pretty much GG. You're not gonna reload that. Those crossbows slap though. You could like even the little handheld ones, very, very powerful. You can get repeating crossbows. Oh really? I didn't even know that. Gotta use the flick to hold all the tactical MRE spoons. Oh yeah, true. I knew a guy who insisted he would be able to defeat an intruder with a gun with his katana sword he kept next to his bed. He insisted he could be up and slicing faster than someone could shoot. Hey man, I mean, to each their own. How many titanium sporks does your flick carry? You could carry quite a few. Yeah, I don't know. I think that one thing people sleep on is having some kind of handcuff or zip tie. Because imagine if somebody did break into your house. What do you actually do with them until the police get there? It's probably going to be like 15 minutes before the police gets there. That's one thing about where I'm at right now. That it's not that I think the police are incompetent out here. It's that it's going to take them probably 15 minutes to get out here. And where I used to live in the past, it was more kind of hood than where I'm at right now. Like I used to live in Yonkers, New York. Yonkers, there's like lots of murders and violence in Yonkers. Like that's where the Locks, Jadakiss, all of them are from. They have like some projects in the Yonkers as well. Like Yonkers is rough. There's all that stuff is happening on a daily basis. But the WoW police department would be out there lickety split. You call them and they come out in force, like high speed, SWAT gear, everything, helicopters, whatever they need. Here, call the local PD, 15 minutes, man. It's gonna take them 15 minutes to get out of here. Yeah, I mean, if they end up, activating the National Guard out here and having them, I will probably have to do something, guys, to be honest, because pretty much what it's looking like is that the healthcare system will get overwhelmed at some point. You know, it's about flattening that curve, right? So if that is the case, they're definitely gonna have to have, National Guard set up little makeshift hospitals. I would imagine, right? Just to help have extra critical care type of beds. So, but that type of stuff I don't mind doing. I think it'd be pretty sweet. That's the main reason people sign up in the Guard. People don't necessarily sign up in the National Guard to go fight overseas in far off lands, but helping your home country and helping people in a very real sense like that seems pretty awesome. How much time and money went into creating the space you stream in? Not that much money, man. I made a lot of the stuff myself. Time took a couple months. You have to chip away at it. It's an iterative process, but I'm pretty happy with it now, Picard. Thanks for the nice words, man. Alright, we'll turn to the zebra hoof thing. Do you have COVID-19? I don't know, man. I haven't been tested. Hopefully not. It's possible. Could be asymptomatic. Sawed-off shotgun. Sawed-off shotgun would be good. Thing is, they're actually illegal where I'm at, Nicholas, and pretty much most places in the States, sawed-off shotgun's illegal. There is a barrel requirement, there's a minimum requirement. So I think the shortest barrel you can have is 18 inches, right? So definitely though, short-barreled 18-inch barrel shotgun is fantastic for home defense. Absolutely. You can put a nice little shell saddle on the side, and you can put like slugs in the shell saddle, and then you load it up with 00 buckshot. So pretty much you have access to two different options, right? So you have it cruiser ready with buckshot in it, which is what you're going to use in 90% of situations. But if you need the extra reach, if you need the extra distance, you can pull a couple shells off the saddle and load up some slugs. And slugs are like one huge metal piece. So people think of shotgun, right? Whenever you think of a shotgun, you think of a big spread, like birdshot, like how it sprays out into a big cone and hits stuff. A slug is just a solid chunk of metal. So you can actually shoot pretty far with a shotgun. Lazanta, holy smokes, with the monster raid, dude. Oh my god, Lazanta, dude, thank you so much. What is going on, man? That is insane. Lazanta. 206-person raid into the channel. Thank you very, very much, my man. I really appreciate that. Guys, we gotta shout out Lazanta. I have not had the pleasure of meeting this fine human being yet, but I look forward to the pleasure. Welcome everybody over from Lazanta's channel. We are currently in day 1 of 22 of lockdown with the coronavirus going crazy like this. My name is Cargos. I live in the SF Bay area, and we are on shelter-in-place orders right now for the next 3 weeks as of right now. So we're just kind of making do with that, talking about Corona. Everybody's talking about Corona, talking about WoW. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lazanta, thank you very, very much, my man. I really appreciate it. Even with the buckshot spread, it's not as big as people think. Yeah, absolutely. I'll watch some of your YouTube vids. Oh, we really got some new people in here, for real, for real. Yo, thank you for the nice comment, Exy. Look at all the follows, man. This is huge, Lazanta, man. A lot of these people, new faces. Welcome, guys. So we're also doing the hardcore challenge. I haven't been playing super serious mode right now, but we have 1 life, guys. Everyone from Lazanta's channel. If we die, we have to delete this character. You might have seen some other people doing the hardcore challenge. So that's what we're getting into. Seeing how far we can get on this guy. Another one, Flame Strike with the 1 viewer host. Thank you very much, Flame Strike. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Goodbye.
Alright, let's turn in Zebra Hooves. There he is. Lazanta, happy to be here. Dude, I really appreciate that, dude. That is a huge host.
Look hard. Strength.
Hey, Lazanta, man, if you ever want to come on Good Morning Azeroth or anything like that, if you ever want to do a podcast, we're overdue. We got to do one this week, guys. I think Thursday we're going to do one. Def Camp and Dunedain, they said they've had some people asking if we quit. We did not quit GMA, don't worry. We've just been slacking a little bit. All right. Cold card leaders. Oh, Prowler Claws, that's what we need. Okay, so we're going to do Semiflange and Prowler Claws. Let's do that right now. What is OP in World PvP? Lock or Hunter? Both are phenomenal, phenomenal World PvP classes. A lot of people will tell you that, like, people like OG Haptics, Big Brain, you know, rank 14 players will tell you that Hunter is the strongest open world PvP class. I would probably disagree with that. I've played Hunter extensively. I played it 3 times as a main in a vanilla environment. I think they're incredibly strong in the open world, don't get me wrong. But I think the absolute Mike Tyson pound for pound heavyweight champion has the belt, always will have the belt, has the crown, is a Soul Link Warlock in World PvP. That is just the creme de la creme, the strongest pound for pound heavyweight champ of open world PvP. And, you know, as a hunter, I developed a little bit of envy to Warlocks, you know, because I would fight them 1v1 and I would just go, oh my god, these guys have so much gas in the tank. They have Hellstone. If I do somehow by some miracle Viper Sting him to death over like a 2-minute fight, he's going to pop back up with 50% health and finish me off. Warlocks are the stuff of nightmares out in World PvP. The thing is about Warlocks is most people don't really play them in that Soy Link capacity. People actually meme on you for playing Soy Link. They call it Soy Link. That's one of the things about TBC I'm excited for. Soy Link is no longer kind of a meme. It's expected what you play. It's expected that you play SLSL. So that kind of is going to reinvigorate me to play Warlock. Thoughts on Druid in World PvP? Actually, Druids are very, very strong in World PvP. They're one of the strongest classes in World PvP. They're very, very hard to lock down as one class. Almost impossible. Like a geared Resto Druid or something. Can any one class kill that? I don't think so. In a duel, maybe if you're restricted to that circumference of a circle. But if there is a Resto Druid with full health and mana, with decent gear, trying to get away, I don't think any class can kill them. I don't think so. You need help. You need some kind of like root or peel or you need something, man, to help out. You need like some setup with them. If you 3-shot Resto Druids, they probably just had pretty shitty gear, man. I'm telling you, if they stack stamina and they're spec'd properly, I don't think any class can like burst them down in time. And the thing is, even mages, which are just fantastic at like sniping people out, the Druids kind of counter the mages. In the sense that they can just shift out of all of their roots and slows, so the mages really can't lock them down. They can outlast the mage. So mages are pretty popular in PvP, right? And Druids are the stuff of nightmares for mages. They just counter their whole kit. Can't poly them, right? They outgas you, and they'll just chip away at you. Here's the thing that I've heard about Druids, though. First of all, they're tricky to play because you don't know exactly what to do when you play Druid a lot of the time. What line of play do you take? You definitely don't go into bear form or cat form and just man fight something. That's pretty much never the play ever. You don't just go bear form and maul something to death. You don't just go cat form and claw something to death. It's a hit and run style of gameplay where you're constantly swapping in and out of forms, throwing up heals, then going back into animal form to tick back up your mana so that you can out attrition people. You have to work for all of your wins as a druid. It's not face roll unless you're fighting someone with a very different like level of gear or skill. You're not just gonna open up on someone in cat form and just kill them if they're like decent, right? So you have to work for all of your victories. But with that said, druids out in the open world, very, very strong. Wait, is there going to be a TBC? I think, yeah, there's going to be a TBC. Probably 99% chance. No, everything makes sense. There's going to be a TBC. Even at the last BlizzCon, they're going to say that they're not opposed to it. They just want to do it properly. TBC is going to make Activision Blizzard a ton of money, and at the end of the day, that's probably what they care most about, right? So, TBC Druids, the holy crap? Absolutely, man. I'm playing, holy shit. It's a lot of tigers. We go for an early War Stomp. This is one definitely strat. If you're playing Druid and you're going to go for a War Stomp line, go for it early. Because it doesn't always work out. You get some resists. Level 12 Huntresses, man. Alright, we should be fine now. I 3-shot a druid that had 10k armor as a DS ruin. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily about the armor, though. It's about the, I'd say, I mean, you have a certain amount of health. You in quarantine? No. Quarantine is different from lockdown, right, guys? Quarantine means that you have the virus and that you are being, you know, isolated from society. That's what quarantine is, at least in my mind. What I'm in right now is in lockdown, which is you can only leave for essential stuff. What will happen to Classic, though? I hope Classic servers just continue to be a thing and they have them running as well as the TBC servers. Now, I would be pretty heartbroken and distraught if they made Classic servers turn into TBC servers and there was no more Classic. That would be a huge, huge L to take, I would say. What was the stats page you had up yesterday on the virus? I'll link you for it if anyone's interested in tracking the spread of this pandemic. 88,000 people watching this live stream. Holy shit, here it is. Did they say anything about TBC yet? No, but everyone's predicting they're going to say some stuff at BlizzCon. Here's the thing. Normies losing their minds having to spend 2 weeks alone. Are they? What do you think, man? You think they actually are? Are people actually struggling? Are they struggling with the stay-at-home orders? I mean, I know we're all going to be good, right? We pretty much just do this nonstop anyway. At least some of us do. I don't know, like, my dad is a very social dude. He likes was talking to people, having weird dad jokes. He doesn't seem to be having too much trouble so far. If anything, he's kind of just happy he's working from home. I feel like that's what a lot of the... People are probably just so excited they don't have to go into work, right? Yo, peace out, Lazana, man. Be safe, man. I know extroverts in these times will have it tough, true. Maybe. Can you be extroverted and introverted? What do you guys think? Because I actually do consider myself an... it's not even what I consider myself. Most people will consider me an extrovert. Like, I like going to happy hours, talking to people, and, you know, just like bullshit and shooting the shit, stuff like that. But I also like being just alone and playing WoW. I kind of like both. I think you can be an extrovert and an introvert. I think it'd be situational. Omniverted. Damn, that's a big brand. Oh shit, is this Semiflange? It is Semiflange. Let's go do Semiflange. CDC predicts 70% of the U.S. will have coronavirus by mid-May. That's what I keep hearing. These big brain experts in viral diseases and stuff. They are saying that it's almost inevitable that between 40 and 70% of the global population will get coronavirus. That's an unfathomable number of hurt people. I mean, if that's true, how many people is that? Because how many billions of people are there on the planet right now? If half of the population were to get coronavirus, how many people is that? And then they say out of the people who get coronavirus, they say I think it's about 12%, I believe is the number. 12% will need some sort of intensive care or hospitalization. I believe that's what they said, 12%. And then out of those 12%, I think they said, you know, like maybe half of those people would need a ventilator or some shit. That's a lot of people. I mean, that is... I don't know. I don't buy it though, honestly. Like I know I'm talking about prepping and all this type of stuff. I don't buy that though. You really think half the global population is gonna get coronavirus? That just seems insane. I mean, you already have places like South Korea right now that apparently appear like that they are halting the progression of coronavirus. This is some of the best possible news, guys. Right? So I don't really trust China's reports on them having control of the virus. Oh shit, I'm kind of low. I misclicked. You know, they're saying that they have it under control. If you've been monitoring that page I just linked, they've been at like 80K for days upon days now. And it doesn't look like the virus is spreading anymore. I don't really necessarily believe what China's saying about that. But South Korea is, as a a U.S. ally. We have military bases in South Korea, and I don't see a whole lot of reason for South Korea to want to like cover stuff up. And it seems like they're stopping the spread there in South Korea. So that to me is the biggest sort of case study here, or the biggest example of maybe a society doing a really good job of stopping it, right? So there's some inconsistency there when people say 40 to 70% of the global population is going to get coronavirus, but then you also see in the early innings, South Korea already halting it. I think it's a possibility that in, 2 months, we could stop it like South Korea stops it? What do you guys think about that? You think that's possible? 2 months and we'll be fine? Or at least turn the corner? Here's the thing that is very scary, though. I said it earlier on the stream. South Korea is one of the most technologically advanced nations. They are, gamers. They are just like, they have machine learning, automation, all this type of stuff. They're actually very progressive and technologically in a lot of ways, right? And they probably have a lot of doctors per capita. What people were saying about Africa in particular, of how they have 0.01 doctors per 1,000 people, and now we're seeing corona in Africa. That is the stuff of nightmares, right? Like how fast that could ravage African nations if it were to spiral out of control there. I think there's a lot of eyes monitoring the current state of affairs in Africa right now. It'll come back next year with yearly influenza. It might be the type of thing. It does, yeah. Yeah, it might be. I mean, people are hoping there's going to be a vaccine or a series of vaccines. Maybe 2021 or something like this, but... South Korea started testing much earlier, and they are much more respectful of being told to stay in their homes compared to other countries. Yeah, I mean, whatever they're doing, it seems like it's working, and you definitely trust the data there. African nations will have similar infection rates of others, but they'll have more deaths. But wait, no, those two are correlated, right? Those are correlated. If you have, like, you need more infrastructure and organization to prevent people from going outside and spreading it more. So if there's less access to healthcare, there's less, you know, like public services to keep people inside, like, you know, weaker supply chains on food, water, electricity, amenities, you're gonna get more infection because, oh shit. You're gonna get more infection, right? Like, weaker infrastructure across the board is gonna lead to more infections, and then infections can snowball. Did we really get a huge snowball infection here in the States, at least? I don't think we have. The closest thing was probably that that old folks home they've been talking about. You guys been hearing about this? Like, for a little while, like half the deaths were from this one senior center or something like that. It's probably as close as it gets, but I don't know. I mean, we're gonna start testing on a much broader and larger scale right now here shortly as they start pumping out all those tests. So we'll have to see where everybody's at. Doesn't seem like we had some huge viral rampage yet. India, that's a good point. I don't know though. I feel like India very I feel like they would have amazing medical facilities. Am I wrong? The thing is, India is huge, right? And they do have a lot of slums and stuff. Like, what is that area with that river? And the river is like a spiritual river, and they go like drink the water or something. They might have the strongest immune systems ever though, because apparently there's all kinds of fecal matter in that river and all types of crazy stuff, and they drink it. They might be just straight up immune to coronavirus. They'll probably develop some next level antibodies. Dude, imagine you drink that water and you survive. You probably turn into a superhero. I think if I drank that water, I think if we drank that water, half of us would die. For real. I feel like half of us would die. So if you drink from, the Ganges. If you drink from the Ganges and you survive, I don't think coronavirus can touch you. I think you're next level, dude. You have like immunity to everything. No, it's not racist, Doc. Not at all. I got lots of Indian friends. I went to school with Indian. I love Indian food. I'm just saying what it is. What it is. That river is extremely dirty, right? If you drink from that and you survive, you're probably good to go. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they would have, like, because India, they're very on board with technology. Like, they have a lot of really like good technological advancements there and stuff. I feel like they would prio health and make it a national priority. I don't know. I just, maybe it's a gut thing. I feel like they would defeat it. The good thing about African India is they have younger populations. That's true. That's true. India still has a problem with swine flu. I don't think it's going to be nothing with COVID-19. Which one is... So one of those, it might be bird flu or swine flu. I think it's the H1N1 or something like that. One of those is also a coronavirus. We aren't doing anything South Korea is doing? What do you mean? One of the things apparently I heard that South Korea is doing that's really good is they found their patient zero, apparently, and they were able to go contact everybody that came in contact with that patient zero and was able to, you know, get that information out. And people are playing ball, and they've been going to great lengths to find out everybody that the people who have coronavirus have been in contact with. Oh, one thing I heard about too, guys, I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody was saying that in China, they made a new law that if you go into an airplane, you have to get a temperature check, right, to see if you have a flu. And if you go into the airplane and you took ibuprofen to lower your temperature to try and like pass the test, and you get caught for doing that, you go to jail. What do you guys think about that? You actually go to jail. legit. I mean, what if we did that in America though? Maybe not jail. What about you just got like a big ass fine or something? Jail is a little extreme, right? Because what if you did it by accident? That's the thing, man. There's gotta be people who do that by accident, man. Imagine you go to jail by accident. You're not feeling well, you have the flu, and you forget that you have a flight, and you take... Yeah, what if you have a flight, you forget you have a flight, and you take some ibuprofen a few hours early, then you go to jail. Oh, the little rogue is still alive, Reddick. You don't forget? Oh, shit. Why am I always dying? Oh my god, I'm just misplaying all over the freaking place today. I doubt China cares about intent. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good law. Cause did you guys hear about what happened with that Florida guy? Anybody hear about that? There was a guy who was going to Florida, and he didn't tell anybody on the plane that he tested positive for coronavirus. How pissed would you be if you were on that plane? There was a guy who knew he had coronavirus, but he wanted to go home. I mean, we can all empathize with that a little bit because you're just trying to get home. Thing is, he had his wife with him too, though. Like, what are you trying to get home for? What? You have your wife there, like, you know, just chill in Florida or chill wherever you're at. And he didn't tell anybody on the flight. And then when they touched down in the destination, he let someone go. No, he let the what is it? Somebody knows the story. He let the people on the airplane know. So he did let them know at some point. He didn't just go home. At that point, you might as well just go home. Like, I mean, he just incriminated himself big time. Big time. He told them, hey, look, I got tested positive for coronavirus. And then all those people had to get, quarantined and all that. That's a proper criminal? Yeah, dude, I would be pissed. That's why I'm so happy I'm not going to Philly, man. I was supposed to go. I should be in Philly right now as we speak. Your National Guard, how does this pandemic relate to you? So they've already activated the National Guard in a bunch of states. There's already a lot of stuff going on in California with the National Guard. I can't get into too many details with it, but the National Guard will definitely play a role in this, probably throughout all the states. And I would imagine that one of the major roles they would play is to help set up additional testing facilities, to help set up additional makeshift hospitals, almost like you're in a war zone, right? To hand out supplies, to sanitize areas, to hand out food, to do stuff like that. Basically just to assist, to have more boots on the ground, to assist like the overwhelmed healthcare force. So if I get called to do that, which I probably will likely have to do at some point, I think what will likely happen, I don't want to get in too much into it, but I would actually be kind of excited to help out, because that's the reason people sign up for the National Guard, to help out on that type of stuff. Hurricanes, natural disasters, things like that. But they already activated them in a bunch of states, and there's COVID trainings going on. Hope if you do get called to action, hopefully they provide the right type of protective mask and gear for you. For some reason, I don't think they would, man. I was looking at some of the New Rochelle guard who are out there. They're just walking around in OCPs, like they have no mask on or anything. I don't know if you've seen some of these clips. Patrol cap, OCPs, walking around. No protective gear, no eye pro, nothing. And that's in New Rochelle, which is like the center of the corona epidemic out east. I feel like they should give them some masks at least, but... Absolutely hyped to help out in emergency. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Help out the weak. It isn't airborne? It is airborne though, right? It's gotta be airborne. It's airborne, right? Someone's saying it's not airborne. Don't someone sneeze and then you get some of it, Or maybe that's different when they sneeze. Is that not considered airborne? It is airborne, right? Yeah. About to say. The masks do nothing unless you already have it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gotta help. It's gotta help. There could be other stuff it protects you from too. Common cold, other stuff. Protects you from touching your face because you have something over your face. I think that's a myth, man, that the mask does nothing to help you. I really do. I know the virus can go through it, but just being in like a hospital environment or being around sick people, it's probably going to protect you from other stuff, having the mask on. Could be the cold, could be something else. It's also going to like signal everybody around you to, you know, posture check themselves and make sure that they're being sanitary, because there are people here that care about health and safety. It's like just like a health and safety kind of reminder every time you see someone wearing like a, you know, a mask. And it'll stop you from kind of touching your lips or face because you have it on. Thing is, all the masks are out. You can try and buy them on Amazon, anything, they're all gone. If the virus is inside of a water droplet or whatever, the mask will catch the droplet and the virus. Thank God we have WoW for times like this. Yeah. I'm kind of finding it a little bit harder to play WoW though with all this going on, because my mind is so distracted thinking about all this stuff. I love streaming though, I gotta say, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Being able to get these real-time perspectives from different countries, it's pretty insane. Since we started streaming though, guys, I have not seen a single person from Italy in the chat. I've asked this question, like, where is everyone from, a couple times. Nobody from Italy. Kind of spooky. I will ask again, is there anybody actually from Italy in here? Someone's gonna say they're from Italy, but I mean, I just rigged it. I just rigged it. But that is kind of spooky, man. Oh, Sek is from Italy? Is he here? I don't think Sek has been in the chat, though. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's kind of spooky. There was people from Italy in the past in the chat. Oh, he's been here? See, even if I'm saying this right now, there's really no one from Italy. Dude, I'm really not even joking at all right now, chat. This is actually dead serious. There is usually always people from Italy in the chat. At least a couple, I'll see it. There has been 0 people from Italy. They still have internet in Italy, right? It's not at that level. They're still just inside chilling, like, you know, playing games and trying to hang in there. I'm kind of disturbed by this. Italian internet also got corona? Dude. Maybe they're just maybe they're actually all just busy taking care of each other and stuff. Like they might be actually just trying to tend to loved ones and stuff like that. Let me see how many cases they have. Oh my god, yo guys, dude. I'm not trying to hype everyone up right now, but within the since I've been streaming, I shit you not, Italy has 3,500 more cases. I think maybe closer to 3,000. I know it was at 28 something before I started streaming. I've been monitoring this every couple hours, like every you know. Let me link this to you. Maybe they just made a big update. I don't think so though, man. They usually update this every couple seconds. It looks like they got... Oh, no, it just updated back down again. What? Oh, no, never mind. It's up again. I would take it with a grain of salt, but yeah. 31,506 cases. That just went way up, guys. Like 3,000. And the thing is, the US cases shot up by over 4,500. I mean, 1,500 in the last couple hours. Spain got a huge spike as well, 11,309. Dude, I really feel so bad for everybody out in Italy, man. I really, really do. I don't know what exactly happened with there, with Lombardy. 10 minutes ago, I checked. It was 28K. That you mean 2,800, right? Or no, 28K. Yeah, no, you're right. It went up by 3,500 since we've been streaming. Death shot up to 2,503. That is unbelievable, man. Dude. F's in the chat for our brothers and sisters in Italy, man. Golly. UK got it, yeah. Man, this maybe because there's more testing available. I don't know. But it's all going up. People were saying that everything was going to shoot up in the next couple days because there's going to be more testing. The thing is, you got to see. China hasn't budged. China has been under 81K for like a week now. That's a little bit suspect for me, from my perspective. You really think that they haven't moved at all? Because they don't publish numbers? Well, they were publishing numbers or something, man. Like for a while. Youngest person killed was 39. Damn. I'm not buying the Chinese numbers yet. I mean, that's what I'm saying, guys. If you're looking for a light right now, or like hope right now, look at South Korea. South Korea, when I started watching this chart a few days ago, it was at number 4. It was behind Iran, and it was roughly where it's at right now. It was 8K or something. It might have gone up a little bit. Like it might have been low 8,000s, like 8,050 or something like that. It has only inched up a little bit to 8,300 cases. They're doing something right in South Korea. I kind of trust South Korea, man. China probably at 1 mil. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's just so crazy, dude. I feel so bad for people in Italy, man. Well, you know what? I don't mean any disrespect by this at all. Like, I mean, Italian people are amazing, dude. Like, I have so many Italian friends. Grew up in an Italian, like, blue-collar Italian town. But I do think part of the reason, possibly, of why it spread so fast in Italy, can you think about this, is that they are kind of like they have low social distancing in their culture. What do I mean by that? Like, they're very, like, they like to hug, you know, they embrace, you know, they give each other a kiss on the cheek and stuff like that. That probably played a factor, I would imagine. Yeah, family dinners, you know, probably just like sharing from the same same bowls and stuff like that. That's gotta be a factor. Can I send you an article on depression? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, that's gotta be, man. For those of you watching right now, we have it pretty good still right now, man. Dude, make it, you know. We gotta learn from Italy here. We gotta learn from Italy and try to set yourself up for success with this, guys. Please do. Get water, get everything you need right now. Where's Russia? Oh yeah, that was another thing. Russia says they only have. If you look at that stream I linked you guys, on the right side, like on one of the small flags, you'll see Russia, and Russia apparently has, I think, sub 100 cases last time I checked. Let me check again. Let me try to find it. Russia. I'll link it again for you guys so you can take a look. It's a pretty interesting stream. So many people watching it. Russia is our neighbor and we have 270 cases in Finland. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, it's a big country. Thing is about Russia though, Russia has high social distancing in the sense that, isn't Russia a huge country, but it's all spread out, right? Like, it's a huge country, but it's actually very sparsely populated in Russia comparatively to other countries because it's so massive. you look at the country size of Russia, you think it might be one of the biggest countries in terms of population, but it's actually a really small country comparatively to its size, you know, physical size. So, and oh yeah, you know, it is definitely very cold. Russia took precautions and closed their borders in January. Oh, damn. Very spread out. Yeah, the city's true. What countries have the highest natural social distancing? What do you guys think? In terms of people kind of just have more of a, it's pretty interesting, more of a, like a personal space between them. I don't know where America stands on that. I feel like we're kind of touchy-feely a little bit. You know, we shake hands, you know, when we go to a meeting, we shake hands, we kind of hug, we go to a happy hour. We do share drinks and stuff. Japan? Oh, true. But Japan's getting kind of afflicted by it, though. But Japan is extremely population. No, you're probably right, though. Japan, like, they bow when they're going to business meetings and stuff. You know, there's no actual physical contact there with that. And I don't know if they, you know, share drinks and stuff like that as much. I would put Japan definitely up there. Finland. A couple people said Finland. Why is that? I don't know too much about Finland. Russia is also plain cold. COVID is resistant to extreme weather, but it still can't survive sub-freezing temps. What do you think the temperature is like in Russia right now? Is it freezing cold? It's springtime, though. Well, definitely the Russian cold is insane, though. If you look back World War II, and not even just World War II, no country has ever successfully invaded Russia, except for maybe, I think people said the Mongolians or something. You guys hear about that? Like Genghis Khan, maybe back in the day. I'm not sure, but I have heard that nobody has successfully invaded Russia. It's too cold. It's too strong. Why is Cargo's grinding peons? What's up, Ashley? I'm doing a quest here. I'm just not doing it very efficiently. I'm talking with you guys. I'm doing the Samaflange quest right here. Yeah, I know all we're getting the news through every orifice these days, but as people say all the time, we love the Cargo stream because of how chill it is and his love for the game. Yelling at each other in doom and gloom chat is like other toxic channels, and I'm hoping we can keep it out of here. Let's create a little refuge. Hey, that's well said, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's been too bad in here. People are, I mean, in times like this, guys, we got to realize all of us are pretty much cut from the same cloth. We're all playing WoW. We like Warcraft. We like high fantasy stuff. Like, we're already kind of a small community in that sense. Gotta stick together, man. We gotta look out for each other. We gotta cook each other. We gotta cook each other's tendies. Eve Tier 989 with the Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Mongols and various golden horde types have invaded Russia, but yeah, not since then. Yeah, true. Russia's insane. Okay, so let's hit this valve now. 10 hours later. This spawns 2 guys, though. We gotta be careful. Apparently, I think the only state in America, by the way, guys, that doesn't have COVID, guess what it is? I mean, you guys are gonna know this, but super random. I wonder why. Russia defense is OP. I mean, Russians are pretty badass, I gotta say. Like they're, you know, they come off as a very strong, resilient people. You look historically, you know, and you look at the Eastern Front, as they say, right? And like Russia, I mean, you know, the Nazis and then pushing into Russia, and just looking at some of the stories from there. The Russian people are a hardy people, man. They are actually badass, I gotta say. Don't want to fuck with Russian people, man. Wyoming, Montana? Oh, is it there too? I thought it was West Virginia. That's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing. Let me see. Let me look it up. U.S. states without coronavirus. Oh yeah, no, only one state. It's only one state. I'm pretty sure it's West Virginia. Only one U.S. state has not reported a case, and that state is... Why are they not saying? I'm pretty sure sure as well. Oh yeah, West Virginia. As of late Monday, West Virginia was the only state that has not reported a coronavirus case. But the state was also among the last to gain the ability to test for the virus. Oh, okay. So they probably have it then. Yeah, how are you going to confirm a case if you don't have the ability to test? They're going to start testing now, though. We'll see. Yo, does anybody actually have coronavirus in the chat? It's okay. You can tell us, man, if you actually do. I feel like with this many people in here, there's got to be one person. I'm looking for a decent rating horde server. Probably Incendious, Grobulus, maybe even Ferlina. A lot of these are like some of the servers that have big populations, pretty decent faction balance. How is Ferlina's faction balance actually? I know there's a lot of people playing on it, but maybe the faction balance is scuffed. I would say number one choice for me, if I was going to play on a new server and give it a real serious shot, would be Grobulus. Grobulus seems like so much fun. I have a hangover, does that count? Not quite. Not quite. I've actually had it. One of the first three... No way. I kind of believe it for some reason. I've actually had it. One of the first 300 in Sweden. No way. Did you get pneumonia from it, man? Grays from Mothersucking Days in the chat? Dude, what? Is this the real Grays? Yo, I love the new emotes, Grays. There he is. That's actually him. What's up, Grace? How you doing, man? How are you, bro? You staying safe? Staying corona-free? Oh, White Man? Yeah, that's true. I heard White Man's pretty good. Alright, Semiflange. I'm undergoing self-isolation, getting tested tomorrow. Damn, man. Fingers crossed. I mean, you'd be alright. I mean, if you were to get coronavirus, though, guys, this would probably be the best time to get it, though, right? It might even be the play, dude. What if you just got coronavirus now, got it out of the way while there's still ventilators, and then you were chill? You were, like, immune for, like, years and years. It's not even a totally glass half empty thing, because right now the healthcare system doesn't seem like it's too destroyed or anything right now. All the machines are probably still in decent numbers. It's still in the early innings of it, so even if you do get it, there's still even something there's still something kind of hype about that. Not even really immune. One small mutation and everyone's screwed again. I mean, your body's probably going to be better at fighting those types of viruses in general, though. It's the worst time. Hospital capacity is at a breaking point? I don't know, though, man. You think that the hospital capacity is at a breaking point now? We may have not seen anything with regard to that, bro. Like, what if in 2 months from now, 100x more people have coronavirus? Then you're really in a, you know, that's a whole other beast. Everyone talks about corona. Can we talk about something else? It's the type of thing, though. I feel like if we were to talk about other stuff, I almost feel like there would be an awkward, like an awkward elephant, or what was that expression? It'd be like the big elephant in the room, you know? Like everybody's thinking about this stuff, right? It's affecting everybody. Okay, get a little bit low here. Get a little bit low. I'm gonna go for a heal. Why am I so weak, boys? Why am I so weak? Why am I so just like unbelievably weak right now? We're ticking back up on mana. Nature's Grasp. Come on. Can't fight two mobs, yo. You need beer? I actually bought a bunch of beer. So, not even that I plan on drinking the beer. One, it's liquid. Two, did you guys hear? Anybody here ever watch the? Anybody ever watch that documentary, How Beer Saved the World? What's up, vaping man? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just enjoying the lockdown. Trying to hang in there. There's a documentary out there. It's called How Beer Saved the World. Pretty good documentary. I watched it like a number of years ago. Oh shit, I'm low, dude. I'm low. Please don't resist. Please don't resist. Oh. God, I've never felt so weak on a character. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joshing you guys. I feel so weak on this druid sometimes. I haven't gotten skills in a minute, but... that documentary was legit, right? So you know that beer, actually, they said that people who built the ancient pyramids were pretty much drinking beer. Okay, here's the thing about beer. So if the water supply does get contaminated or something, all right, I don't know. Let me explain this in the right way. Some big brains in the chat's gonna help me out here. So back even in the early days in America, when they were setting up America, the water was scuffed. The water wasn't clean, and they pretty much drank beer for hydration purposes. But I think it was a way milder version of beer. They drank like mead or something like that, which was like a more watered down version. But they pretty much drank that stuff to survive. So that's one aspect of it that I feel like you could drink it in that capacity, in that light, if something were to happen to your water supply or whatever. Two, morale booster, which is definitely a real thing when it comes to survival and preparedness and stuff. Three, it's an amazing bartering tool. So, you know, people are going to get bored, or if stuff happens, you can maybe trade some beer or, you know, whiskey or something for some food. So, beer I actually see is pretty valuable. Same with some wine. I got some bottles of wine as well yesterday. Bro, that show was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The Egyptians did. Yeah, it was this. It was the pyramids, right? The ancient pyramids, they say. The workers were, I think they were paid in beer, or they were drinking beer, or something like that. Same in the Roman era, wine instead of water for drinking. There you go. Yeah, so I see it's definitely legit. There's a legit reason to actually stock up on beer or wine. And when it comes to hard liquor too, you know, back during the Civil War and stuff, when they used to do amputations and you know, these horrible things, they would just be pouring some whiskey on just to disinfect it. You can use the liquor as a disinfectant and also as a pain reliever. So if they were going to actually soft some dude's leg or arm or something, they would probably just give him a stick to bite on and give him some shots, you know, of whiskey, and then they would just go for it with the bone saw. Will there be a part 2 TBC train? I want to hear about other classes. Oh yeah, James, definitely gonna make some more content on that. The bacteria died in the process of making the beer because of the boiling, making it a more healthy drink. There it is, the finisher. He appears. Yeah, the interesting thing that I learned the other day about bats, guys, with regard to this, no one knows exactly how this whole corona thing started. Some people say it was from a wet market in Wuhan. Some people say it was from this biochemical lab or something near wet market. I don't know, but one interesting thing about bats is that apparently they have extremely strong immune systems on bats. I don't know why, they just do. And they live in colonies, right? Bats are crazy. Bats are just crazy, man. Like don't they have you know, like that supersonic powers? Like even in Zubat and Pokemon, I always had that supersonic. They can see without seeing. They can use they can bounce sound waves, make little clicks or chirps and bounce sound waves, and they get to navigate like that. They get to, you know, navigate in the dark, and they're just these crazy animals. They have insane immune systems, so they can survive lots of diseases that we couldn't survive. So when you eat a bat, or if you mess with bats or whatever, and you start getting bats involved, they're carriers of these hyper developed diseases and viruses because they live in these huge colonies of thousands and thousands, and they're kind of passing it back and forth with each other all the day, every day. And, you know, it's mutating, and then more bats survive it, and they have this kind of like expedited natural selection type of thing going on. So I don't know. I didn't know that about bats. So that's why there's a potential reason why you wouldn't want to eat bats or handle bats too much. Maybe that's why the bat has always been seen as a kind of spooky animal. Yeah, true. Yeah, the sharks are badass too. I mean, it always blew my mind, whales though. How whales can actually make a noise and ping that noise off stuff that are like miles away. Right? And, you know, pretty much locate things that are miles away, like a blue whale, right? Whales are just insane. What about sharks? Yeah, sharks are badass. There are a reason that most zoos do not have bats or vultures because they carry a huge number of diseases. Oh, vultures, huh? I could see that because they're always eating dead stuff, right? So they probably get all types of weird rotting bacterias and stuff like that. Interesting. A pangolin. What's a pangolin? Oh, that sounds like a Pokemon. Let me Google that. Pangolin. Dude, what am I looking at? This looks like a sand shrew. This looks like a straight up sand shrew. Kind of cute. Kind of looks sick. Dude, it's kind of cute, man. Pangolin? I never saw this in my life. Hey Cargos, are you on lockdown for real? Oh, no, I'm definitely on lockdown for real, yeah. For 3 weeks, Simon. Where are you from, my man? Yeah, the whole Bay Area where I'm from is lockdown for 3 weeks. Pangolins are dope. Dude, I never even heard of that till right now. Scary anteaters? They don't look... Oh, scaly anteaters. Yeah. That's true. They do look... That's what it looks like. I sent you an article on Discord. I'll check it out a little bit later, man. Oh, no, everybody's on standby, Sora. Everybody's on standby, man. Thing is, Sora, I'm not actually fully trained up in one MOS or whatever. So I'm not that deployable in my current state because I'm kind of still like in a training thing. With that said, I can still be called upon and stuff, but what would probably happen is I'm gonna have to go to my local RSP and help out there. But a lot of guard mobilization, man, across the entire country. What does lockdown mean? So lockdown means pretty much, at least here in the Bay Area, you can only do essential stuff. So you can go to the bank, you can get groceries, you can visit relatives, you can go refill your prescription. If you have to go to the pharmacy, but you're not allowed to go eat in public food courts. There's no restaurants, there's no movie theaters, there's no sporting games, there's no shopping at the outlet malls. Basically martial law. No, it's not martial law. Martial law, in my mind, is when you have someone with a gun pointed at your head if you break the law outside. Like it's a rule of law by force. The force is very, very like obvious in there. Why did this not work? Oh, I've used the console again. I'm so distracted. Martial law is when you have, you know, military personnel, I would say, or it doesn't have to be military, it could be police, that is, you know, forcing you at some sort of physical gunpoint or something to abide by stuff. Right now, it's not that. Like, you're not going to get arrested probably if you leave yet. You know, you actually might get... I mean, you'd probably get fined or arrested, though, maybe if you were doing something stupid. Right? Like, what if you were at... What if you threw a party outside and you have you throw a kegger in the park right now and you invited all your friends and you put out a big blast and you're, like, blasting EDM music or whatever and you're out there. You'd probably get, like, in big trouble right now if you did that. Are you out in LA? No, I'm in the northern, bro. 25 uniform. Yeah, that AIT takes for a hot minute, though. Actually, most of my friends are 25 series. Like, most of my Army friends, 25 uniform, Signal Sport, all that type of stuff. They got really good bonuses, too. Like signing bonuses, but the AIT's too long for me. can call martial law over this, especially if they go into a nationwide lockdown. Well, what would you define as martial law? What is martial law to you? I don't think we're there yet. Is martial law ever appropriate? Maybe when you think of martial law, you always think of it being a bad thing. Maybe it's not always a bad thing. What if there's a bunch of rules? Like, what if it escalates and people are told to stay inside because it's getting really, really bad and people keep breaking the rules? I don't know. Martial law is just government control. I mean, pretty much always live in martial law then. Guys, I only got 2 beers. Should I go buy 2 more for tonight's gaming? I would go buy a bunch of beer, man. It sounds like you might be a little bit lacking on supplies, my guy. People are being fined for being outside without a purpose in Spain. One guy fined 200 euros for being outside riding a bicycle. I mean, if he was just lollygagging around lackadaisically, I don't necessarily blame him. Why is he riding a bicycle? I feel like he could have easily gotten away with it, though. It's the type of thing you pull the guy over on the bicycle. Sir, stop. What are you doing out here? And he was probably like, oh, just going for a little, like, ride. Just getting a little exercise. No specific agenda. He could have just said, hey, I'm going to go get some bread. I'm going to get some milk. Hey, I'm looking for some food. And he would have been fine. Martial law when the military intervenes. That's kind of what I thought it was, yeah. Come on. There it is. None of what is happening worldwide presently makes sense, especially because the death rate is not that high at the moment. Actually, the death rate, Sora, people are pretty shocked at right now. He replied he was exercising. That's why he should have had a legit purpose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should have just said he was getting food or something, or visiting his grandma or something. But the death rate to a lot of these doctors is high. They say it's about 4% globally right now. But these are in very developed, advanced healthcare nations. This situation has taught me that everyone has at least one conspiracy theory that they believe. I don't know. I don't know if I believe any conspiracy theories. Let me think. What conspiracy theory do I believe in? I really don't think there is any. For me, personally. I mean, I'm sure conspiracies have happened, but I've never, like, really... let me think. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think people are... I think human beings aren't that coordinated to, like, pull off these huge, big conspiracy theories. Just personally. I honestly think people are blowing this stuff out of control, buying ammo and guns and stuff. I mean, ammo and guns are pretty useful to have. Ammo and guns, I mean, if you're buying an excessive amount, I hear you. Like, if you're loading up and you have, like, a whole garage full of 5.56 and stuff, but you should have some ammo and guns. I mean, if you... IMO. Tuskegee experiments were a conspiracy. Oh, I heard about that. Tay-Tox, dude, good to see you here, bro. Good, bro. Good to see you, bro. No coronavirus, you love to see it. Where are you from, Tay-Tox, man? Tay-Tox, big supporter of the channel, man. Good to see you still alive and kicking. Love to see it. Never seen more unqualified people act so confident. Is this YouTube chat? Act more confident in what way, man? Everybody's got opinion on the internet, man. This is pretty tame. I feel like the chat that we have here is pretty tame compared to a lot of other places. You live in Phoenix? Oh, okay. Not too far. Are you guys under lockdown there too in Phoenix? It's dangerous for me to get COVID-19. I have a weaker respiratory system. Oh, damn, dude. Hate to see it. Gotta do some, I mean, you can improve the strength of your respiratory system, right? There's stuff you can be doing, man. Like, just do some jumping jacks, honestly, until you get your heart rate up, until you're breathing heavy. Just keep doing that. Stuff like that. I'm doing fantastic, just chilling, painting some miniatures. Oh damn, that sounds like mad fun. I love painting miniatures. I enjoyed painting miniatures in Warhammer probably more than I enjoyed playing the game. I really love doing that. I wish I had some right now. I'd paint some right now. Can we talk about the fact that 3 states have their primaries today and no one is showing up to vote? It makes sense though. They're just trying to heed by the social distancing, man. I would say, I mean, they could just vote by mail though, Terranan. You know you can vote by mail, right? Not a lot of people do it usually, but with this, they're probably just going to do that. Cargers, did the military teach you about meditation? Meditation? No, I never heard about that. They did in 86, huh? Damn. I mean, everybody has their own ways of meditating. I definitely think meditating is legit. Meditating is just, you know, being introspective. Reflecting on things, giving yourself peace of mind. Would you say it's still safe to go to birthday parties? Whether it's safe or whatever is one thing. It depends on where you live, right? But you should probably respect the social distancing. So not try to gather in more than 10 people. So if there's more than 10 people, just, you know, try to make the sacrifice and don't go there. Nah, man, only a few cases here in Arizona. Gyms and movie theaters closed down on their own, but nothing is mandatory. Restaurants and bars are still open. Oh, okay. It's probably coming, though, man. If it weren't for my ailing family, I'd go rub the bug all over me and become naturally immune as fuck. Warhammer bros be calling me Papa Nurgle when I'm done. Dude, I wonder if that's the play for anyone. If anyone just tried to big brain it and get the disease early. When they're in good peak physical condition, there's plenty of ventilators, and they just took the L early. What server are you on? This is Bloodsail Buccaneers, my man. I wish I could stock up on guns and ammo, but it is not legal in Sweden. Well, you can own weapons, but they need to be locked away, unloaded, and disassembled. And you need to be an active hunter or sport shooter to own a gun here. You Americans do not know how lucky you are. Man, that is... I'm not gonna lie to you, that's kind of rough, dude. The thing is, that's kind of good news, though, is that the bad guys in Sweden probably don't have guns either then, right? Thing is, in America, probably all the bad guys have guns. No, you know what the thing that kind of would trouble me, though, is what if you're on like a 1v2, 1v3 kind of situation? Because, yeah, if they don't have guns, it's whatever. But then if you're against like 1v3, it's kind of GG. Can you show your macros? Sure, I don't have too many on this guy. The last druid I tried a lot harder. I had a bunch of macros. You need an absolute fuckload of macros when you play druid, though. It's kind of one of the downsides of playing this class. Like, I mean, I'm talking like 40 plus macros. Well, I don't need a gun to feel safe in my country. What about 1v2 or 1v3 though? I'm glad though. I'm glad, definitely. I'm definitely glad you feel safe in your country, man. But what if you just get like 1v3? This is going to be a strong case for people who haven't thought about 2A to think about how fortunate we are. Dude, I feel very fortunate, man. Absolutely. No, I feel very, very fortunate. We have strict gun laws in Finland too, but somehow we are close to the most armed nation in the world. Oh, huh. Basically, every spell needs accounts for macro. That true. That too, and also what do they call it? Not focus, whatever. Mouse over. That's one thing. Not even just druids though. I'm pretty sure every class just needs mouse over macro for everything, because it just makes it just way better. Because there's going to be situations where that's going to be useful to have. And I'm very late to the party on that. I disagree with the gun thing there. Even if guns are banned and legal criminals will still have guns, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you on that, man. Like, the thing is about us Americans in a lot of ways, guys. I'm not trying to generalize too much, but we are a people that like tries to take things into our own hands a lot of the time. Like we're pretty individualistic in America in a lot of ways. You know, we're entrepreneurial, which is a sign of individualism, as opposed to like what is the other end of the spectrum, like collectivism, right? We're pretty individualistic. So even if the data doesn't make sense, you know, and like we're statistically less likely to, you know, we're statistically less likely to go into harm's way if we didn't have firearms and weapons and all this. It's a part of our identity to a certain extent, like to be like kind of self-reliant, independent. You know, part of that whole thing is, you know, the ability to. I don't want to get into politics. Never mind. I'll take it back. But I'm not gonna argue with you there, man. All right, let's finish this up. Cargo's be a good officer. I had plenty of good ones. One butter bar we had went around for 3 months just taking notes. After that, he knew what was going on. He was a very good officer. Yeah, I mean, being in butter bar is kind of a meme, right? So you have to like try to not be the meme. Try my best not to be the meme. Thing is, I know about myself. Like, I'm not some high-speed, low-drag, you know, airborne ranger, freaking, you know, hard charging into battle at every turn. Like, I'm not that. I want to be a good quartermaster officer. That's what I want to do. Alright, we did salmon flange, that's done. Oh, prowler claws, we should do that over here. Yeah, these are the prowlers. Yeah, Mad Jelly for 2A in the USA. Nice, yeah. Quartermaster officer, pretty much, you're like supply chain, logistics. You know, you're making sure that, you know, the different moving pieces have the supplies that they need to, you know, to operate. Making sure everything is in a good condition, everything is organized. You're monitoring that. You're in the armory, right? Like, making sure, you know, all the weapons are clean and organized and accounted for and safe and all that type of stuff. It's like supply chain, you know. And some of the people that go quartermaster or go logistics or supply chain, they always say that there's a good translation into other jobs as well. Have you started Bullock? No. I actually had to recycle once through a traditional program. Fortunately, but I'm not sweating it, man. Not sweating it. My old man was a logistics officer in the RAF. Oh, RAF, that's England, right? Yeah. I've like, you know, I've never been deployed or anything, but I have you know, a lot of friends who went downrange, and they were telling me that they always liked the Aussies and the English soldiers. So they're like very good. All right, get these prowler claws. Actually, randomly too, I heard that there's some Swedish soldiers and stuff too, right? In Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff, like OEF too. Yeah, pretty much all DoD personnel right now, HDoc is on, like, you can't travel or anything. And people, like, you know, have PCS and orders to go to different places. Everybody's just grounded right now. Like, even John, who's in here a lot, he's pretty much on standby. I scratched my nose while doing the turn and bounce. The LT told me to call him if my nose itched, and he would scratch it for me. Lol. So a couple days I called him and he ran over with the purpose and scratched my nose for me. That's funny, bro. A bunch of Swedish National Guard in Germany. Oh, wow. They have National Guard there in Sweden, too, huh? That's cool. It seems like Italy has some military in the streets and stuff, too. I was watching some videos at checkpoints and stuff. Hey Cargos, recently got into your stream as well as Classic. Really enjoying both, I must say. One of the best Classic content creators in the biz. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much for the kind words, Jack. $5. The $5 of support. Love to
Hey
see
Cargos, recently got into your stream as well as Classic. Really enjoying both, I must say. One of the best Classic content creators in the biz.
LT Ramirez. Shout out to LT Ramirez, man. My ROTC buddy is 82nd and broke his ankle on the first jump with his platoon. Damn. I could never do airborne school, man. I know it's only 2 weeks. Is anyone like that, dude? Sorry, I think my dogs are going ham on a squeaker in the back. Jumping out of airplanes, though. Man, oh man, it's kind of the stuff of nightmares for me. I'm not scared of heights necessarily, but it's the fear of impending doom, which is something that it definitely bothers me. You know, imagine if you are free falling from 10,000 feet or something. Stuff of nightmares. Stuff of nightmares. Impending doom. Go outside and everyone is disobeying quarantine. Shaking my head. NA players, what's up, Navi? Good to see you, man. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're in DC, right? People are outside trolling. Let's see here. We're gonna go natural weapons. Yup. Big Navic in the chat. You love to see it. You really do. Coronavirus might interfere with my deployment. I'm pissed. Oh yeah, dude. Everybody's getting interfered with. Could you get someone to HC duo level with sometime soon? I'd be down. Yeah, there's a lot of interest in doing hardcore duo leveling. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Duo leveling in general is just amazing. Hopefully, if Navic's down someday, we can do some duo leveling hardcore. My boyfriend was a Marine. He says he feels no reason to ever jump from a perfectly good airplane. I hear that. I hear that. Thing is, Marines have to though, right? Freaking. I feel like the Marines do airdrops and stuff like that too. Maybe not though. Yo, do Marines have did they have aircraft? I know the Army has aircraft, but it's only helicopters, right? I heard that the Navy actually has more aircraft than the Air Force, and the Marines sort of like loosely the Navy. I wonder. Marines have their own air wing, but it's pretty small. Oh, I see. 3-4-5 man leveling is super fun too. Look who it is. Tactics Law, the legend. Look at him. Good to see you, Tactics, my man. How are things in your part of the world, my man? Big Tactics in the house. Ex-Navy Air Rescue Swimmer can confirm Navy has a lot of aircraft. Yeah, I always found that weird, that the Navy has more aircraft than the Air Force. Give a link to the HC Tourney vid. Yeah, I got you. Sure. Platinum WoW did a great job with the trailer if you guys haven't seen it. Oh man, I'm almost scared to refresh this Corona thing, man. Let me see. Okay, hasn't changed much. I think they did one big wave of updates. And that's what it was. Maybe it was they didn't update it for a long while or some news story came out. Here is the coronavirus tracker thing that I've been watching. They update it every few seconds. You'll see it at the top right. Let me go find the video for you. The hardcore video. Here is the hardcore trailer. Platinum WoW made it. Who's a legend. He made us a little machinima, about a minute long, just to get everybody hyped up for the trailer. I thought he did a good job with it. All right. We can go do Harpy Raiders too while we're up here. Yeah, let's go do it. Because of aircraft carriers, better deployment. Out of all the deployments, it seems like the Navy have it the hardest. I gotta say, just because, well, in the sense that they get very limited access to technology or whatever when they're at sea. You know, apparently, I have buddies in the Navy, and you know, you pretty much load up like a a hard drive with all the media that you might need over like a long trip, and then you just out there for months and months. You maybe get to use the phone or something, or maybe get a little bit of internet here and there, but it's that seems kind of rough, man. You got COVID? No, I don't have COVID, my man. I just have lockdown orders, shelter. Oh, wrong link. My bad. Did I link the Corona thing again? Oh, let me link it to you. 1 second. Sorry, I lost the chat for a second. If you were saying anything in YouTube for like the last minute, I didn't see it, my bad. Here is the, oh no, it was good? Okay, here you go. Oh man, so you ended up canceling the trip to Philly. Yeah, I did, pretty much. Got the full refund though. I was expecting that, honestly, to be an absolute nightmare to get the refund. Because you know how it is dealing with specifically American Airlines. I don't know what it is. I just have the worst experiences with them. I always feel like I get bad RNG or something. But I called American Air, and they were super chill about it. Oh, we got a tier 1 sub from Ursasu Bite. Week in and week out, supporting your boy. 41 total subs in the channel. You'll love to see it. Thank you very much for your continued support, Ursasu Bite, man. I hope you're doing good, staying safe, washing your hands, staying clean, stocked up on TP. Food, water, consumables. Thank you very much, brother. But yeah, I called American, right? And it was pretty well done. It was pretty professional. I got on the line and they said, tell us your name and your number, and we'll call you back. It was one of those type of things, so you didn't have to wait on the phone, which was nice. And then they actually called back within the time frame. It was like 20 minutes. They called back, and I talked to this lady, and she said, yeah, no problem. Here's, just use that same voucher, and you're gonna have that credit next time you want to book a flight. So if you guys have, a flight planned or something, it's really not that bad. If you're worried about getting your money back. Medical students just had clinical rotations canceled. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. Like their hospital rounds or something? Damn, Druid seems so slow. I'm not exactly playing like some high-speed gamer right now. I'm just talking a lot with you guys. Yeah, you go on clinical rotations as part of medical school in order to graduate and practice as a full doctor. So all of them across the board, the whole nation are on pause or something? Is that a big deal? GMA soon, yes. I think probably Thursday or sooner we're gonna do it. Def Camp and Dunedin had a message this morning in the chat. They're down. People have been asking if we quit GMA. We have not. Just been slacking a little bit. A lot of missed encounters. What do you think about leveling as a resto? A druid resto? Do you think that would be more survival for hardcore? Let me see. I mean, you could probably do it. Thing is, you wouldn't want to go solely resto, or would you? You get Fuhrer, which is great. You get NS, which is amazing for sure for survivability. NS is insanity. Insect Swarm kind of a non-factor. I don't see a world where you go just solo deep resto. You'd have to splash into it or something. Maybe go down to NS and race down to NS for the ultimate get out of jail free card for Druid, and then you can go Feral or Mallets. Going the whole way as resto, I guess you would just be like a kind of a nerfed cat form leveling, or maybe bear form. I don't know, it might be fine. Maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference on your damage going resto. You just have to try it out. GMA is Good Morning Azeroth. It's our weekly, well, it usually is weekly, not, we've been slacking a little bit. Podcast thing where we just talk about the state of the game, the community, all that type of thing. It has Def Camp, Dunedin, Melderon, and myself. It's like a podcast, yeah. I was at one of the major hospitals in my area for work, and they said their blood bank is down to 50% of normal since nobody is donating blood. Crazy how many things are affected you don't even think of. Absolutely. There's all types of indirect effects. When people say coronavirus is a meme and that we're young and that it's not going to apply to us, to me it just seems short-sighted. Because it's going to definitely apply to us in many different ways. Not all of the implications are going to be obvious at first, but you know, the next time you go to the store and you try to buy some eggs and they're not there, you try to re-up on some water and it's not there, you try to re-up on some TP or paper towels and it's not there, or even right now you want to go get it some In-N-Out, you know, double with animal fries and Diet Coke, and you go and it's closed. You know, you're going to be feeling these effects, you know, in many different aspects of your life. You know, just the whole global, I mean, so here's one thing. This is why it's going to affect everybody. So the Fed, the Treasury Department, how much money did they print recently? Wasn't it something like $1 trillion or something? So what does that mean? That means all of our money is worth less, right? All of our money is worth less because there's $1 trillion more dollars. So there's inflation. So your purchasing power of your dollar goes down. 1.5 trillion. Dude, I'm telling you, all of our money is gonna be worth less. So everybody's getting affected by this in massive different ways.
Strength and honor.
A lot of people are honestly kind of fucked right now, and I actually don't know what the solution is. The people that are most affected right now probably are the people that work. Let's think about this. Anybody who works in the restaurant industry, anyone who works in the hospitality industry, even people that probably work for construction and stuff too, like maybe those construction sites are canceled right now. How are these people going to make money? I really have no idea. I have no idea what the solution would be. It seems like an absolute headache. What else? I mean, airline industry, way less flights. Hey Cargos, a long time ago you had a big brain paladin on GMA. His name was Code Blue. Love that guy's take on things. How can I find some of his vids content? Oh damn, you remember Code Blue, Travis? I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, man. If you hit me up on Discord though, I can link you up with him. He's a nice dude. He always likes talking to new people. Man, that's crazy. Interest rate reduced to 0 first time in 100 years. Yeah, that's insane. How do you take advantage of that interest rate though? So we're thinking of refinancing. Because we're going to hold on to the house, probably rent it out eventually. Not even sell it, but just, you know, we're going to hold on to it for the long run, no matter what. So we're thinking about refi. Might be some other ways. Maybe just buying a new... So that's the number one way you take advantage of the zero interest, right? You just buy a new house. Watch the announcement of a gold-backed digital dollar. Old debt wipe, start again, rinse, repeat. I'm out of work right now. See, that's what I'm saying. It's scary. What do you guys think, though, about... They're debating this right now. Giving everybody who's out of work $1,000 a month. What would the problems be with that? Or you think it's a good thing? I think it would be a good thing, but how are you actually going to pull it off? Like, how are you going to verify somebody isn't just trolling, just trying to get the money for free? How do you... There's so many... Maybe that doesn't matter so much.
For the Horde.
Yeah, but how long can they do that? And that's more inflation. I mean, how do they... 1,000 would go a long way, though. I know it doesn't seem like much, but if you were in absolute survival mode... I hear you say that isn't that socialism, but at the same time, what do you do then? Freak out? Do they just have to go like rob people at that point? What happens if we do nothing and don't give them any $1,000? Like what would actually happen? Is it gonna? I mean, I guess honestly they would have to find new jobs. But the thing is, who's really hiring in the coronavirus? 1K isn't even 1 month of rent. True. They did suspend all foreclosures and evictions and stuff because they don't want to kick anybody out during the coronavirus. Yeah, I mean, with 1,000 though, I'm pretty sure anybody could survive in America a month. I could, 100%. 100%. I've been down that road as like an entrepreneur and stuff. Could 100% survive on 1,000. You just have to like make sacrifices. You have to go to like Dollar Tree and buy some shit at Dollar Tree, and it's gonna suck. But you can definitely survive on 1,000. It's gonna suck. Absolutely. You're gonna be eating some freaking suspect food probably, but it would definitely help so much instead of getting nothing. There he is, Milan. What's up, dude? Ramen, hot buckets. Yeah, I mean, Dollar Tree. You can actually eat reasonably well from the Dollar Tree. It takes some effort though. Like you'd have to just buy rice and beans and hot sauce. Rice, beans, hot sauce. Probably get like some pasta and pasta sauce, and then get frozen veggies from the freezers in there. I remember back in the day, like years ago, when Dollar Tree was kind of like new. I'm in college or in the early struggling days of entrepreneurship and stuff. That was it, man. Go on Dollar Tree, you stretch that dollar, and it felt good. You leave there with a ton of groceries and stuff. They should suspend utility bills and rent payments if they lock down everything. Need a vitamin C source? Maybe. The thing is about vitamin C, this is what I always hear about vitamin C. That if you're just eating solid foods that are like relatively wholesome, relatively decent in terms of their macro and micronutrient contents, you're going to get more than enough, like ample vitamin C and all of your vitamins from just eating foods. Now, if you're eating like highly processed stuff from the Dollar Tree, you might be right, because I think a lot of those micronutrients, vitamins, stuff gets stripped out through the processing. So you might be right on that front. But that is just one thing. That's one of the things that people say, oh, you need a multivitamin. A lot of big brands will say you don't necessarily need a multivitamin. If you're just eating decent regular food that is not super duper 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 processed up to like the 5th layer of processing, then you should be fine. My current rent for my 1-bedroom apartment is $916. This doesn't include food and bills. If that was the case though, Scott, and it's coronavirus, now are you, and you're getting 1K, don't pay the rent. If you had 1,000 and that was it, and you weren't getting you weren't getting any other money, you would just have to prio and then just go through that process and just level with the landlord and just be like, yo, the coronavirus is hitting me hard, man. I'm doing everything I can, but with the 1,000 you could survive. I don't think there's anything unethical about that. You just have to, do your best. And if your total work is totally canceled right now and you have no ability to make money, and you need the money right now, fast, that's... Just be safe, guys. Drink 1 emergency packet a day. Those are pretty good. I like those. I have a bunch of those. When is the next hardcore tournament? Is there anybody contribute or help? That's very nice of you to ask, Roger. It's on the 28th. You can sign up to play on the Discord. I'll link the hardcore Discord for you guys. I'm assuming most of you are in there already. Maybe not, though. We got that host. Guys, if you want to participate in the hardcore community, get involved with the cup. Oh, Pink Flamingo beat me to it. There it is. Thank you, Flamingo. Definitely check it out. A lot of good people in there. They're streaming there. They help each other out. Also, vitamin C is mainly for cell regeneration. It's kind of a misconception about the whole immune system thing. It does help with your immune system, but not how people think. Oh, there you go. It seems to me, guys, based on everything we've been talking about, the #1 way to improve your immune system right now and respiratory system, which is probably... is that the respiratory system is different from your immune system, right? I mean, I'm sure they tie into each other, but respiratory system seems like almost the most important thing with COVID is to get cardio and exercise. So I gotta man up today and do that with the wife if she's down. Just do some YouTube exercise, videos and stuff. It's kind of cringe, but gotta do it because you can't really jog around the block too much. Red bell peppers. Another thing that actually has a lot of vitamins in it and probiotics. You would never expect it because it kind of feels like it shouldn't. But kimchi and sauerkraut actually slaps as far as health. It may not have vitamin C. Maybe I'm thinking of probiotics. I'm not sure of the vitamin C content. But you guys know what probiotics are, right? And apparently the lactobacilli that you get from just the basic Yakult or kind of yogurt drinks you get. Yeah, all those. Yeah, kimchi's a sleeper. Oh yeah. And the thing about kimchi is, I can eat kimchi as a standalone meal. Honestly, I could, because it has spice in it. So the satiety that you achieve from eating some kimchi, 9 out of 10. So pretty much, it's spicy, right? And if I had some nice sushi rice that was freshly made in a rice cooker, and I just had some kimchi, Scout's honor, I could eat that and have and go about my day and feel fulfilled. Feel like that was a hearty meal. And every time I go to a Korean restaurant, I will eat so much of those little free kimchi plates that they put out. I really like kimchi. It's very hit or miss though. A lot of people hate kimchi. My wife sort of likes kimchi. She likes sauerkraut more than kimchi. So if you don't like kimchi, Parker, you don't like it, try sauerkraut. It actually has a wider spectrum of probiotics, basically more impactful probiotics than even all those yogurt lactobacilli stuff that you buy from the market. But you wouldn't think so because it doesn't seem that very fresh when you're eating that stuff. Is SF on virus lockdown? Yes, it is, Bobert. The entire Bay Area, pretty much, except for 2 counties. 6 of 8 counties are on 3 weeks shelter-in-place orders, so you can only leave for emergencies. I love sushi, but it doesn't keep me full. I hear ya. What the heck is kimchi? Kimchi? It's a Korean... How do you explain kimchi? Kimchi is basically a... it doesn't sound very good when you explain it. It's one of those things you just gotta try. It's fermented cabbage. But that's what sauerkraut is too, so you probably know about sauerkraut, right? What they do is they take cabbage and they marinate it in like this spicy sauce. It's kind of got chili on it and vinegar and some stuff. And what they do is thank you, baby. And they will put it in a clay pot. I'm pretty sure it's clay, some kind of pot. They'll put it in a pot and they'll bury it under the ground for a long ass time, like 6 months or something like that, maybe even more. Might even be a year. It's probably like 6 months. And then they take it out of the pot. I don't know why burying it underground even matters. It does something to it. But you bury it underground and it's in a pot, so it's not like covered in dirt or anything like that. And they take it out and they serve it. I'm pretty sure you just serve it just like that. I live in a small Czech town. Yeah, sauerkraut's similar. It's just not as spicy. I like me some sauerkraut too, though. Sauerkraut on a hot dog with some mustard. Napa cabbage, vinegar, chili flakes, soy sauce, some other spices, and marinate it for a long time, then eat it. Love kimchi. There it is. Oh, you don't ferment it though, Strike? Or you just make it like a fresh kimchi? That sounds pretty good though, the way you explained it. Just vinegar, chili flakes, soy sauce. That just sounds so good. Getting back into WoW today because the quarantine is hardcore on a private server or main WoW server. This is on the main WoW servers. This is right now the majority of the NA community is on Bloodsail Buccaneers. EU is on Mirage Raceway or Hydroxian Waterlords for EU, and then Oceanic is on Remulos. Turkish tea is best. I'm sorry, but it's real. Interesting. You know what? I don't think I ever had Turkish tea, but you know what I did have? Turkish coffee. And Turkish coffee slaps, brother. Turkish coffee is very strong, and it almost has like a muddy aspect to it. It sounds kind of weird when you say muddy, but it has a very cool, like, earthy taste to it. It's very strong, and it's not something that you're going to be filling up in a big cup of ice, but you have it at the end of a meal a lot of the time, and I don't know, it has a really nice taste to it. Sauerkraut is bliss. Yeah, I enjoy me some sauerkraut. And you can actually make sauerkraut. You know, any one of you guys right now can make sauerkraut. You know all you have to do for sauerkraut, guys? I'm not trolling you. This is how you make sauerkraut. Any of you can do it. You get a mason jar. That probably doesn't even have to be a mason jar. You fill it with cabbage. And you put salt in it. That's it. I don't think you even add any vinegar, and you just put it in your fridge. It blows my mind. My dad made it a bunch of times, and it actually was really good. All you do is you put salt in it, I'm pretty sure, and then you just put it in your fridge, and then it makes sauerkraut, and it tastes really good. That's all it is, guys. Sauerkraut. I know you might think it's made in some factory doing some advanced techniques. Nope. You just put some cabbage in a jar. I don't think you can put water. No, the water comes like from the cabbage. It blew my mind, man, when I saw my dad making it. All you do is you put the cabbage in, you put some salt in it, bam, put it in the water. That's it. And you put it in. Same with kimchi. No, kimchi's different. You have to put it in like a clay pot and put it on the ground, I think. Don't they keep the grains? I don't think so. Kind of gives a muddy texture. It's almost like they didn't filter out the ground coffee all the way, and they just let some of it go through. Like it's almost like they used a coarser filter, so some of the sediment went through. I think traditional sauerkraut, they pack it in very tightly, like mashed in to eliminate air, oxygen pockets to prevent the wrong bacteria running. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I was pretty shocked to know how easy it was to make, though. Another thing that's totally gone right now in the supermarket, guys, is potatoes. I checked a couple different times when I made passes. All the potatoes are gone. I think that's multifaceted. Potatoes last a long time, right? The other thing that's really good about potatoes is they can grow. And they're super hardy vegetables to grow. You can pretty much just take a potato from the store, stick it in the ground, stick it in a bucket or even just a trash bag with some dirt, and it's probably going to grow. So I don't know if people have that on their mind, but potatoes, really good feminine food. Last a really long time. So we only have one bag of potatoes, kind of concerned. And we used like a third of them last night to make the dinner. Ever tried fish croutons? Oh. Can't say that I have. It's really good. Fish, pasta, fish, sauce, cheese, and whatever else you want. It sounds good. You can cut potatoes in half. Yeah, that's how you. No, that's how you make the potatoes. That's actually the best way to do it. What you have to do if you want to plant the potato, this is what you do. You cut the potato in half, and then you put them with the cut side up towards the sun, and then you let the sun create like a new skin on the potato. Like the cut kind of moist side will create a skin over it. And then you plant them after that skin is formed And you can do it in like a pretty much anything, a container garden. You can put it in a trash can, whatever. You don't have to plant it in the actual soil itself. And then you plant it with the eyes facing up, because the eyes are going to grow out of the other side, and that skin side down. Everyone is buying all the eggs. Yeah, that was something I really wasn't thinking about. Ren Schultz going to the market. All the eggs are gone. I wonder why. Is it just because it's such a complete source of nutrition and people just love eggs? I was not expecting that, for eggs to be so. This is why you need chickens, though, someday. When we get a little bit older and stuff like our ranches and stuff like that. I want to have chickens, because chickens... If you have chickens, you're kind of just chilling. You can have that. You can just you have your own eggs, have your own meat source when they get old, or you have to cold them. So chickens are huge brain, and they're kind of fun. Make good compost. Everyone is buying all the... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, Cargo, some days ago I found a post to sign up the next hardcore run, but I can't find it anymore. Where can I sign up? I will show you, my man. So... Whoops. Let me find it for you, brother. All right, I found it. Here's the Reddit post that has the sign up link on it. If anybody wants to sign up on the YouTube side of things too, there's the Reddit post has the link to the registration. I legit eat hard-boiled eggs like candy. Yeah, I mean, they're super, super good, man. Play the long game. Flour, salt, cornmeal, butter. Why is that the long game? Because it lasts for a long time? Butter does last for a while, which is nice. Cornmeal. Kind of wish I had some cornmeal. It's a good call. Some grocery stores around me are putting limits on what you can buy. Only like 3 cartons of egg, 2 gallons of milk, max 2 per meat. That's the play. They haven't started doing that in the US yet. I think they will, though. I think we'll see that in the next coming weeks, because you can't just have one person buying all the water. Alright, new bottled water. A couple new pallets of bottled water comes in. Someone shows up with like a U-Haul and just buys everything. This may have not been a really good play right here. Okay, now we're fine. Yo, Cargos, greetings from Europe, everyone. Hope you're well and not fucked as us. Where are you from in Europe, EKL? Good to have you here, brother. Love living in the country. Chickens are OP. Yeah, chickens really are OP, though. Because if you think about it, this is why chickens are OP, guys. If you want to get a protein source, because you need protein, right? And if you have to make the food yourself, not many of us are comfortable slaughtering animals. It's kind of messy. You lose your appetite. It's not a pleasant experience. Even just killing a chicken and killing a chicken, you know, you have to cut its head off, or, you know, and then you have to take the feathers off and clean it and everything like that. Not a pleasant experience, just to get some protein in you. Eggs, it's the cleanest thing ever. You wake up, pick up a few eggs, no one's harmed in the process, eat it, complete source of nutrition, amazing protein. Eggs are legitimately OP. And it replenishes faster than anything. Like, even if you grow like a chickpea plant or something like that, right? Like some garbanzo bean plant. It's good at, like, I feel like you would harvest all the beans and eat them all. I'm really risking it for the biscuit here, pulling 2 of these slayers. Did these guys execute? Yo, don't tell me these guys execute, fam. Don't tell me these guys execute. I'm just gonna use potions now to be careful. Oh shit, Sister Rat Talon's coming too. Oh no. I'm just gonna run from this shit. Not a good idea. And we use the potion. Alright, we're fine. Only I didn't live in an apartment, right? Break the neck, not cut the head too bloody. Maybe if you're a pro, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Break the neck. Because you don't want to kill the chicken in a bad way, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be a pro to break the neck. Honestly, if you try to break the neck, you might even just pull the head off, honestly, man. Hey, Cargies, you give good advice, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks, man. It's cute watching chickens walk around with that bob to do with their heads. Yeah, they're pretty much characters. My aunt had a bunch of chickens. She got rid of them now. She's a little bit older now. But she loved having chickens. It's actually, like, kind of addicting. People love chickens. They have their own personalities, their own breeds. They look cool. Create them their own little coop and stuff. And chickens just do so much for you. Because they give you really good high nitrogen compost or stuff that you can use to plant flowers in. Or not flowers, right? Vegetables. That's pretty huge. People neglect that. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never done that myself. And, like, you know, put all their droppings into, you know, a compost container and then actually use that as nitrogen-rich, you know, compost to plant stuff. Not something I have personally done. But, you know, it's well documented as a thing you can do, right? So not only do they give you that, they pick clean your yard of parasites and bugs and stuff like that. They can also get parasites, so, like, you know, you have to take care of them too. But they will eat just about anything, so you don't really have to spend a lot on feed or whatever for them. They'll just kind of feed themselves oftentimes. You just throw them table scraps, and then they make you delicious eggs every day, or almost every day, and then eventually meat. Chickens are just insane. Oatmeal is really good for you. Oh yeah, that's one thing I have a lot of too. That's a really good sprout food. If you just go, and it's really cheap too. If you just go to the store and you get a Quaker oats, and it really is delicious too, I have to say. So you can get like a big tube of Quaker oats for maybe $3, and it has so much inside of it, you'll probably never finish it. And one of the best things to do with that is I like to eat it with honey. All you do is you do whole milk, some of the Quaker oats, some honey, maybe if you have some fresh fruit, but ain't nobody has time for that. So I'll just put some honey, oatmeal in that, and that's a nice little dessert. I usually eat a dessert like as a cereal type of thing. Or you can microwave it, and it's really good bang for your buck, though, if you think about how many meals you're going to get from it. You can get 10 pounds of it at Costco, so I'm saying, so cheap, right? You can invest in stocks during the dip. That'd probably be the big brand play. I'm not really too good of an investor, though, man. I've learned this about myself. Anytime I've made like a good investment in the past, it's just kind of like my friends have helped me out and like told me to invest in. Like I was there for the Ethereum pre-sale. Anybody know Ethereum? We were there when Ethereum was under $1. You know, stuff like that was pretty good. But I'm not really super interested in the stock market. Kind of just a man-child that likes to play WoW and do stuff like this. Like I'm really not like a great finance brand. The whole situation is hell for me. I got some inflammatory immune issues, so I can't eat a lot of the traditional ration foods. Oh, damn. Damn, dude. That sucks. Hate to see it. I'm better at investing in WoW materials. True, though. Actually, big true. Just doesn't interest me that much, man. I don't know if anybody's in the same boat. Like, yeah, you could be making money if you wanted to try hard and, you know, make a little bit here and there, you know, get into all that stuff. It just doesn't sound that interesting. Maybe if you start feeling the effects of it, you start making buku money, maybe you're gonna start getting into it. But some male chickens look like raptors. My sister has a rooster with feet as big as mine. Oh, what's up, Nesrook? How's it going, dude? I heard you died, man. Not in real life, obviously, you're here, but, you know, if you're hardcore. Eggs have essential nutrition, vitamins except vitamin C. It's pretty crazy. That's what I'm saying. If you have chickens, if you had to, gun to your head, create all of your own supply chain, food supply chain, right? Chickens are an essential piece of that. You'd probably have a chicken, And then apparently if you're short on space, instead of getting you know, a cow, you would get a goat. I'd probably get a Nigerian pygmy goat. If you guys heard of those, it's a small goat. You need to have them in pairs though. So you get 2 goats, and you can make cheese, get milk, all that from them. And then, you know, you have the chickens, and then you'd have your own little vegetable garden where you're growing stuff like really hardy stuff like potatoes, Jerusalem artichoke, beans. What else? I would only plant the hardiest of stuff because I have kind of a black thumb. What else is super hardy? Maybe gourds, some squash, things like that. And then probably plant an orange. They're not going to give you fruit for a long time, but plant an orange tree, avocado tree, things like that. You might be all right though. I don't think it's the hardest thing in the world to pull off. You know, planting stuff like tomatoes though, that takes some finesse. The garden, those types of things, where you have to get rid of the pests that are on them. I tried to make some vine tomatoes. Big yikes. Lentils? Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah, probably right. Lentils are good. Well, you plant that, right? Blueberries. I feel like that's the type of thing that would be kind of hard though to plant blueberries. The thing I would want really bad, man, would be an avocado tree for real. And in California, apparently avocado trees are a little bit sensitive, but in California you can grow them. And the other thing I would really want is the ability to grow coconuts. I think it's GG though, right? Who can actually grow coconuts? You'd have to live in some you think you could grow coconuts in California? The type that you could eat, young coconuts with the meat and all that? Because I love coconuts, man. They're so clutch. Did you spend your talent point? Oh no, I don't think I did. Thanks, man. 2% more damage because of it. You can make oat milk. That's not a meme. Oat milk is something that actually is a thing. I was always sketchy about that. Anything that says milk, but how do you make? I feel like they would have to make it in a factory using some new like hipster technology. You're saying that the average person can make oat milk? What even is that? Oh, fig trees. Big true. Yeah, I love me some figs too. Yeah, I'm bound spec right now. Grow hot chilies near tomatoes to protect them. Yeah, I mean, these are like the advanced gardener techniques. So I live in California, right? And California is apparently one of the best places ever to garden. Like even some of the most famous gardening guides and manuals are, you know, called something California or whatever. Like in California, apparently you can grow anything. But I don't have the knowledge or the skills to be able to do it. Crops take a very long time to grow from seeds. Oh no, definitely, Lex. Definitely. I mean, I tried last year, guys, to create my own garden. And the only thing is I was able to get successfully going out of the entire garden. It was a container garden, but it was a pretty upscale looking container garden. At least I think, in my opinion. Wifey thought it looked a little bit dumpy, but I bought these nice kind of troughs, plastic troughs that were pretty wide and they were elevated, as well as these huge containers, like circular from Home Depot. Each one was like $50 from Home Depot, so they're you know, it wasn't some dumpy looking thing. And I put potatoes and Jerusalem artichoke in there, and then I tried in the container gardens that were elevated, I tried to grow stuff like tomatoes and all this, but I germinated them from seeds. So I got the whole process last year, and it was way harder than I thought, I gotta say. I learned a lot from it. I think if I'm gonna go garden again, I'm just gonna plant the most brain dead easy stuff. Oh, mango? Love mango. Homegrown potatoes are so good. Yeah, they're easy to make too. I mean, they pretty much can't fail, right? Can you fail to make potatoes? As long as you give them any amount of sunlight and any amount of water, I feel like it's gonna grow. All those tuberous stuff. pH can affect plants. You'll notice nothing grows near pine trees because the soil is acidic from decaying needles that contain citric acid. Ah, interesting. See, that's the thing, right? You think that you could just grow whatever near your house? Probably. There's gardening is like its own beast, man. As millennials and stuff, because we're all pretty much millennials here, right? We're pretty helpless when it comes to growing our own food. A lot of us, at least. And I started that whole process last year, trying to learn about it and start to get my hands dirty. Just realize how little I knew. You may think you can plant in whatever soil you have. No, you actually need to mix in some other soil, like some nutrient-rich soil from the store you need to buy. So you think to yourself, all right, I'm going to plant some vegetables. It's going to be basically free. It's going to be no problem. I'm going to be able to grow my own food. You actually end up spending a lot, and I think you're oftentimes negative. You don't really make any money or like create any additional value by growing your own plants. If it's your first cycle of doing it, you probably have to do it for years and years and get better and better at it before it's going to give you any kind of return. Because you get some of that soil and stuff, it's kind of expensive. Feels like a lot of info has been lost between generations. You need to make your own food. That's where I was going with this, right, Tyler? So if you have chickens, that is big plays, right? Because the chicken droppings apparently have like a lot of nitrogen in them. And apparently nitrogen is really good for growing plants, and you can mix it and like make your own fertilizer, so you wouldn't even have to go to Home Depot and buy those soils. So it's kind of the circle of life, kumbaya. You have chickens, they make you these food, they make you amazing fertilizer. Chickens are badass, they really, really are. If you had to pick one animal to have, you know, to produce food, it's got to be chickens, hands down. Did I finish this quest? Let me see. Nope, I still need one freaking talent. Holy. Is it St. Patrick's Day right now? Wow, if it was, I'm totally not tracking. I'm lost in the sauce. CMDR, thank you, man. Happy St. Patty's to you if it is. Chicken manure has to be given time to mature, though, as it's so strong. Yeah, again, I don't know too much about it, but that's one thing. How many people are actually composting here? I don't, personally. It just seems too kind of gross, and I'm too noob to get to under. Where I'm at with that right now is like, I think I know how to do it. It's not the most, you know, it's not rocket science to compost. You know, you put all of there's certain things you don't put in the compost pile, certain things you do, and you just add it all to a pile, and it just sits there, and over time it'll turn into like the most rich, amazing, you know, fertilizer. But until I get like a ranch, you know, like some acres on it and stuff. Like I have a 1/4 acre right now. That's not that much land. It would be kind of a yikes to have my little compost going here. Someday though. Squash is pretty easy. Yeah, definitely. We have to compost here in Calgary, Canada. Oh wow. Want to learn how to grow my own stuff. It's a good skill, right? Like even if you don't actually need to use it, it'd be good to know how. It made you appreciate how cheap everything is, though. When I went into, you know, growing my own stuff, right? I went to the store. You buy packs of seeds, right? Then you buy these little containers. It looks like almost like a carton of eggs. You could use an egg carton, and you put the seeds inside of them with a little bit of potting soil, and then you have to monitor them with a temperature with a thermometer, and you have to make sure that it's pretty much at room temperature, like not too hot, not too cold. You monitor these until they germinate into little sprouts, and you kind of have to just care for these sprouts for weeks and weeks. This is already taking multiple weeks for the seeds to germinate to the point. For them first to germinate successfully and then grow into the point where you can transplant them into a pot or a bigger garden. And then once you do transplant them, you have to be out there like multiple times a day making sure that they're okay. And you're just gonna lose a bunch. Like it's harder than it looks, man. It really is. After going through the whole process last year, I had a whole new appreciation for how cheap and abundant everything is in a California grocery store. You walk into a Safeway, you see these beautiful avocados and tomatoes everywhere that are like, you know, 50 cents or something. It's just insane. Imagine the people who figured this stuff out several thousand years ago. That's what I'm saying. I've had a garden for the last 7 years, but never composted. Oh, nice, man. You're actually able to grow your own stuff. You can make a gardening video. I would be trash as a gardening video. I have kind of, people have told me in the past, I have kind of heavy hands. You know what I'm saying? A lot of like dads and stuff kind of have that. I don't know, like my dad sort of has it too. We're just kind of heavy hands. We kind of just go too zug with stuff. Like, you know, stuff doesn't work out the way we want it to, and we just go kind of like get into like an enraged state and just start fucking like either just like punching shit or like, you know, just getting frustrated and trying to like, you know, just you'll get frustrated and just burn out. You need like some sort of delicate hands and finesse to deal with some sort of stuff. Like with gardening, I feel like that's one of the cases. Sometimes I'll get frustrated, I'll just like kick the thing over or whatever it might be. I feel like I would be a shit gardener. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I could pretty much plant some potatoes, some Jerusalem artichokes, some kind of tuberous thing, you know, just throw it in the ground and that's pretty much it. But running a small farm, small holding is a full-time job and big commitment as well, though. Oh, definitely, 100%. Yeah, 100%. We actually did have to go on vacation a couple times, or something happened where I had to go out of town, and I was very concerned about the garden. And I was thinking to myself, dude, I just spent like 10 weeks trying to make this thing happen. Everything's gonna die. Yeah, but that same kind of skill will kind of be helpful though too. So last year I had to build a fence. I don't know if anybody's ever built a fence before. I didn't even think I was able to do it. But sometimes that zug kind of like primal dad rage type thing will come in handy, because sometimes you just go ham. You go on these big bursts where you're just drilling, hammering everything you can, like just super fast, just rapidly. So you kind of need both. And that's another thing. Like when it came to installing a garbage disposal or reinstalling the sink, some of that stuff takes a little bit of finesse, and sometimes I would just get so pissed, frustrated, and like just try to like force the freaking square into the circle or whatever. Like, I mean, this is the guy. I broke my processor a few months ago. Did I tell you guys about that, man? I was trying to remove the heatsink from the processor, and I just wanted to replace the heatsink on the processor. Just more cooling, total kind of discretionary income, kind of like little fun thing to do, not a thing, no real essential need to do it. Wanted to change the heatsink, put a nicer fan on it, better cooling. The processor wouldn't come off the last heatsink, it was stuck to it. So I tried to pull it off in every way, go into, you know, primal zug dad rage, pick up the X-Acto knife, right? And I'm like, all right, fuck this shit. I like to get this off. So I take the X-Acto knife and just go for it. And of course, I rip the processor in half. Classic example right there. You got to finesse the stream though? Barely, man. It's been an iterative process. I appreciate that though. It's been an iterative process. Lots of scuffage, lots of trial and error. Somewhat stable now though. Oh my lord, I know the feeling of repairing power equipment, yeah. Hit the pharmacy, got another 9 rolls of TP? Oh, Selena. Congratulations on the IRL loot. I feel like that's a military thing, it could be. Just pretend it's one of your pets. The garden is a pet. Thing is, even with my pets though, like I'm always with my dogs, like I'm always kind of roughhousing with my dogs. You know, we're always wrestling around and stuff like that. And you know, my wifey tells me all the time, like I'm too heavy-handed with them a lot of the time. So my dogs, like they like me when it comes to, you know, playing and stuff, but if it comes to like cuddling or whatever, they like never come to me. Sometimes I want to cuddle with them or whatever, but they'll have nothing of it. They'd rather just go with the wifey. Because how'd you get the CPU to split though, brother? I do not know. I just tried to pry it off the heatsink and split it in half, and I got to see what the inside of the processor looked like, so that was pretty interesting. Yeah, stick to potatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna chuck some potatoes in a pot and call it a day. It's for the neighbors. Someone needs it. Oh, you're too kind. What a good neighbor. You excited for cat form? I actually kind of am a little bit, because I'm playing Torn. If I was playing Night Elf, not at all. The Night Elf cat form You guys know how I feel about the Night Elf cat form, right? We've talked about this many a time. Night Elf cat form, big yikes. Tauren cat form, actually kind of cool. I'm about to go back to the beginning of the VOD. Have a good rest of the stream. Alright, man. Yo. Take care, man. We really start smacking at 32? Yeah, this is true. Ravage and Ferocious Bite. Ferocious Bite at 32. I don't know when Ravage comes online. Alright, we have the talons. Let's get out of here. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. Let's swing down this way. Can you guys hear that squeaker in the back? Sorry if you can. It's not animal cruelty, don't worry. They're just playing with some toy. Wisdom has taught me wifey's deaf appreciation of that aspect of us, though. Definitely, definitely. That's why, I mean, you just make a good team, right? We do make a good team. You know, I'm not like super into gender roles or anything like that. If anything, I don't even really subscribe to gender roles too much. You know, people just do whatever they want, live however they please. But just in my specific experience, you know, definitely in my specific life, wifey has a lot more grace than I do. Has a lot more patience with some stuff, like more of like a details-oriented person. I'm not really that much of a detail. Some stuff you are, right? You know, humanity is very like multifaceted. With most stuff, I'm not a details-oriented person. I just go. I get stuff done pretty quickly in big bursts of like, you know, kind of fast. But you need the detail-oriented to make sure you're not missing stuff, so you don't scuff it. You can hear a parrot. No, it's not a parrot. It's a squeaker toy. Why is everyone locked down from the coronavirus but me? I have to do work rather than blame. Where do you work at, dude? They're still making you go in? Damn. Hate to see it. You could probably stay home though right now, man, if you don't want to be there. Because I don't think any country or government or whatever is... I mean, it's totally acceptable if you want to stay home and isolate and do whatever. Yeah, they're still making me go in. It's BS. What kind of work is it? I'm actually really curious. You probably work, I'm gonna guess you work at some kind of essential services type of thing, where like there's kind of no choice. Okay, kill this dude. This guy more. He's gonna chain everything. Should be good. I work at an aircraft manufacturer. Interesting. Not exactly essential. Is he seriously on lockdown? Yeah. So the whole SF Bay area, no routes. Minus 2 counties. Everybody's on lockdown. You're on 3 weeks of shelter-in-place orders until April 7th. So you're only supposed to leave in emergencies, pretty much. No meme. Me and every other tradesman are still working. That's kind of true. Yo, thinking about that, though, imagine being in their shoes, man. So imagine if you're like a plumber, or imagine if you are, that's what I'm guessing by trade, like a specialty person, like you know, but you're your own boss. Those people have to have a lot less orders right now. They gotta be hurting too, and they don't have any benefits from like a company above them. I actually feel them hard there. Oh shit, I'm almost done. Yeah, those people gotta be hurting. Nurses are unsung heroes. Oh, that's a big true. That's a huge true. There really are, though. There are way more nurses than doctors, right? I mean, obviously, right? Like, well, I mean, Are nurses the majority of the healthcare force? I have no idea. Literally, I've never looked this up in my life, but I'm just gonna guess, shoot from the hip here, that they're like 75%. Nurses are the majority of healthcare personnel. Yeah, that's what I would have figured. Yeah. Let's get a few bracers. We'll chip away at this. Nurses are the backbone of healthcare. That's what's up. More than 75%. Damn. Yeah. See that's crazy. Aren't there some pats around here that clap you? I gotta be careful around here. There's a little wombo combo team that comes around here and nets you and storms you. I'm on the lookout, dude. Head on a swivel. Admin staff? That's true. The plumbers in Sweden and the Gothenburg area need to be wearing protective gear when going out on jobs because of Corona. Let me take a look at the Corona pandemic thing. Let me see how bad it is now, if it's gone up at all. No, it's been about the same. I mean, there's definitely a huge spike. The one we talked about earlier. U.S. about 120 more cases since we last checked. I mean, it's been like an hour and there's 120 more cases. Yeah. Let's check in on Sweden. Sweden actually has a good amount. It's about 1,200 cases. Oh, no, yeah, about 1,200 cases. Switzerland is still just so crazy to me that they have almost 3K. UK 2K. Germany's starting to get up there too. The main countries that have been rising up big time in terms of the cases is Spain and Germany, other than Italy. Anybody from Spain or Germany in here? Gensim11 with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much, my guy. Appreciate it, man. How are you today, Gensim? You staying safe, brother? I feel like there's got to be some people from Spain or Germany. Or Italy, but we already established nobody from Italy is in here somehow. Iron Core from Germany. Could you give us a little insight on how it is in Germany right now? Is it pretty chill? Is it panic buying? Is it... How are we looking over there, man? My husband is in Germany right now. Oh, wow. Loretta, your husband's in Germany. Damn. Is he stuck over there? Or is he there for a walk? The Queen of Denmark held a speech about an hour ago about the coronavirus. What happened? Anything juicy? The measures in Germany are getting more drastic, but the numbers are still low. It doesn't seem too low. I mean, you're at double the United States. Maybe not quite double. 10,203. It's kind of a lot. Berlin, Germany here is still kind of chill situation. That's good. Alright. The king tested positive? Oh, wow. Of Denmark? There's a couple nation leaders that tested positive. Or like, was it Trudeau's wife or something that tested positive? I've been hearing about that a little bit. The fire burned out in the background. Good call. We'll just leave it for now. I haven't seen the graph today, but Germany's death rate seemed insanely low. Let's see. Germany's death rate. So they have 10,203 cases and only 24 deaths. Wow. That is actually insane. You are so right. What a great observation. So if you compare this to Spain, for example, Spain is in the same ballpark. Spain's at 11.7, so 11,700 cases. Germany's at 10.2. So what? That's 1.5, 1,500 different in cases, but still it's in the same bracket. Spain, I'll link this for you guys if you guys want to follow along. Yeah, something's really good. I think German healthcare is insane. I really think it's really good because even in American soldiers and stuff, if they get shot or if they get fucked up and hit an IED or something in downrange in the Middle East, within hours they're medevac to Germany for surgery. So Germany apparently has like top tier medical quality. But if you look at this, did I link it in YouTube? I did, right? If you look at this, right, they're in the same bracket as Spain, 533 deaths, but there's 533 deaths in Spain versus 24 in Germany. 24, that is staggeringly low. They really are doing something really well. Maybe they have a ton of ventilators or something. You are so right about that. They're doing something very well as far as managing it because they have a lot of cases. Wow, that is pretty amazing to look at. Germany do everything well and efficient and thorough. You're not wrong. They say, what is it? German engineering. Staggeringly low. You think it's going to go up dramatically, though? All I'm saying, Frosty, is relative to the death rate for the disease in other nations, they seem to be doing very well as far as treating it. We hear that the U.S. does not have enough tests to have accurate numbers. Is that what you hear too? Yes, Christian, but at the same time, apparently in the coming weeks, they're going to ramp up the testing. And I believe it, and it's mainly because they're tapping into the power of industry, like a private industry. There's a big partnership between the Fed and private, like big pharma companies, to just pump out millions and millions of tests. I think they're planning on producing like 5 million tests or something in the next coming weeks. So that's good news. But yeah, I think the U.S. has been seen as late to the game compared to a bunch of other countries. So anyway, guys, we had a good stream. We streamed for about 4 hours right now. I'm going to stream again later today. Fairly certain, like 95% certainty. I'm going to break for some lunch. This pizza's, wifey made some pizza and stuff. I'm going to chill, just take a little break. And then I will definitely be back a little bit later if you guys are hanging out. Thanks again for everything that you guys do, all the subs, support, the moderators, Loretta, dude, big shout out to Loretta. Absolute legend, Crusader. And I'll see you guys soon, probably in a couple hours here. Just gonna take a little bit of a break. Actually, look at this. Quissy. Shout out to Quissy. Really nice girl. Fellow New Yorker. Also doing the hardcore challenge. So we're gonna host Quissy. Say hi to her for me. I'd really appreciate that if you could just drop her like some cheese and rice or like a emoji or something like that. And then I will be. Oh, TikToks? I'll make you a mod. Yeah, let me do that real quick. And I'll be back a little bit later. I'm just going to take a little bit of break. 4 hour stream, break a couple hours, and we'll do another 4 hour stream later, something like that. See you guys real soon. Take care. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Peace out.